parents, we can actually do something about endowment, roll the cash out to something called a 1035 exchange. You don't know what you don't know is because we have to investigate everything. Yes, when you say, I'd like to meet with you, we ask for information. That information is copies of policies, your tax returns, last 3 years. Because if we can find something on a tax return, you can actually go back 3 years and fix it.
Yep.
Especially if you haven't told your accountant everything, or your accountant is the more like, oh, thanks very much, and they type it all in, here's your form.
Yep.
And there's no conversation, which is a normal way of getting tax done.
Yeah, absolutely.
You might feel that I'm a little shaken by this or a little upset about this, right, Paul?
No.
You feel my emotions?
And I understand it because the reality is that, like, I had this example where you talked about, 1035 exchange, but that concept of 1031 exchange of, hey, you can actually take a rental property and you don't you don't have to actually, and I don't want to get too deep into that.
No,
but
I had a high-end client worth millions of dollars, has huge law firm, has another investment advisor, and they just keep coming back to me for information. They had a house in Delaware. They came in, we bought another one. What'd you do with the old one? Oh, we sold it. We had to pay a gain of $250,000. And you bought a new one? Why?
Right.
Why did you do that? And it was because they never thought about it. They never asked their tax advisor, and they never even thought about it. They just wanted a better house, and they pay tax on $250,000. They could then a 1031 exchange to the next house. And that's an after the fact. I can't fix it for you.
Could have completely deferred the tax and saved them a lot of money.
We get called in by law firms to help them try to figure out how to get money after a death, how to get it to the right beneficiary, because the broker never updated beneficiaries when the daughter had special needs. And to us, it's an obvious change, but not to people, I guess, so frustrated with mistakes that I can't fix.
Right, and that's
earlier they come, we can fix them. We can make sure it flows the way you want, gets to what you want, avoids extra fees, costs, taxes, or ruins their benefits because they were listed as a beneficiary and they're supposed to be special needs.
Yeah, that's a brutal situation, but that's something where it's just a matter of why we are so proactive to help ensure that, number one, yes, we want to make sure money's growing, we want to make sure you're taken care of, but even from an estate standpoint, ultimately, you got to make sure you're optimally leaving your estate. That's a big deal.
I was thinking about calling this the war stories of financial planning. I love This Week in Baseball when I was a kid. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Yeah, This Week in Baseball. Yeah,
it was my favorite show to watch. I mean, now it's ESPN and all that other stuff, but This Week in Baseball, I like This Week in Financial Planning. But when you think about the battles of things we had to try to bring all the armament in to fix, we were working on a couple of these just this week, trying to make sure things happen. We want to plan for worst case scenarios. We want them to be handled. Generally, the idea is this. We plan as if you might die tomorrow. We make sure the beneficiaries, the documents, everything is in line in case you might pass away tomorrow. Then we want to invest so that the money will last forever, for as long as you will. Yep. None of us are like a milk jug. We don't have an expiration date that's going to be the day we pass away. Yeah. We just sort of know we're going to die sometime, and the money needs to last as long as we do, no matter what that is.
Yeah.
We also know that in retirement planning, your income expense, your expense doesn't just keep going up. It goes up during the spending years, slows down when you slow down, and then all of a sudden at the end it spikes back up when you need some doctors. Yeah. And then we got to find out how to pay. I had one, of course I keep saying this week, but this week, $15,000 a month. A lady a year ago diagnosed with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, went from just a little bit of speech problem all the way to full nursing care, $15,000 a month in 12 months.
Quick depleter of a portfolio you work so hard to build up just by planning.
Thankfully, we did very well, and the family, I'm saying this is just earnings. We're paying the $15,000 a month now because she was a great saver. But how fast it happened is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And so the idea is this: do you need financial planning? What's your answer, Paul?
Absolutely.
And I say, yup, you need financial planning. Do you start yesterday? You can't start yesterday. You got to start now or start tomorrow. Don't wait. If you wait, you've limited the amount of time your money gets to grow. Yeah. Let that money grow for you, and let the money work as hard as you do by having financial planning. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, and that's, again, what we help work so hard to take care of for you. Yeah. So if it seems overwhelming, when you come to Acres Financial, it's not overwhelming. That's the beauty of it.
You have to live a balanced life of now and later. I don't want you to be so frugal you don't enjoy your life now, but have a balance and know that you're okay.
Yep, absolutely.
That's exactly what we got to do. Thanks very much for a great show, Paul. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Brian.
The show is about, do you need financial planning? You don't know what you don't know. We do look forward to meeting with you. We want you to win in your retirement by taking advantage of the opportunity to begin planning with us at Acres Financial Group. To schedule a free meeting with one of our team of advisors, go to our website at acresfinancialgroup.com. Scroll to the schedule a meeting section and let us know you'd like to schedule your free meeting. That's akersfinancialgroup.com, or you can call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. We'll give you a call on Monday to schedule your free in-person meeting with one of our team of advisors. Start planning for your retirement now. Go to acresfinancialgroup.com or call us at 833-946-7384. Thank you for listening. I'm Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group, and we want you to be winning in retirement.
You've been listening to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group. Akers Financial Group offers securities through Archedios Capital, an SIPC and FINRA member firm. Advisory services are provided through Archedios Wealth. Akers Financial Group and Archedios do not share any common ownership. Neither Archedios nor Akers Financial Group provides tax or legal advice. Advice given on winning in retirement is general in nature, and one should seek further advice from their financial advisor, broker, attorney, and or tax accountant before investing. Be sure to read each prospectus carefully to understand all the risks associated with each investment. Examples and scenarios shared are meant to be for illustrative purposes only. Past performance is not indicative of future results.
What is your vision for retirement? For 34 years, Brian Akers and his team at Akers Financial Group have been helping Maryland families plan for retirement. Whether you're dreaming of traveling the world, spending time with family, or starting a passion project, your retirement plan should match your vision. Akers Financial Group creates personalized retirement plans to both grow and protect your wealth. From optimizing investments to planning for taxes, your plan will be as unique as your fingerprint. Brian and his team want to align your money with your vision for retirement. That determines where your money should be invested. Call it 833-WIN-RETIRE to schedule a meeting or visit acresfinancialgroup.com. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-946-7384. Or visit akersfinancialgroup.com to schedule your free meeting. Member FINRA SIPC.
Retirement won't make you happy. It's how you live it that determines your happiness. For 34 years, Brian Akers and his team at Akers Financial Group have been helping Maryland families plan for retirement. Getting to know you and how you want to spend your retirement years is an important part of your retirement plan. So is the money you've saved. When Brian and his team put all of that together, they can help you plan for a happy and prosperous retirement. Now is the time to get started planning for happiness. The sooner you begin, the sooner you can relax, knowing you finally have a retirement plan. Give Brian and his team a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE to schedule a meeting or visit acresfinancialgroup.com. Call WIN-RETIRE, that's 833-946-7384. Or visit akersfinancialgroup.com to schedule your free meeting. That's acresfinancialgroup.com. Member FINRA SIPC.
The preceding was a paid program, and the views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of WJZ-FM, Odyssey, its sponsors, or affiliates.
This is WJZ-FM, Catonsville, Baltimore's sports talk at 105.7 The Fan, and always live on the free Odyssey app. Weekends on The Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Everybody, welcome into another edition of the Bruce and Femi Show. Bruce Cunningham, Femi Ayanbadejo. Beautiful day, Preakness Day. We're going to get deeply into that in just a minute. But first of all, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, I was glad to see that we finally had the NFL schedule come out. You know, some things to talk about there.
You're expecting big things.
Oh, you know I am. And to see the schedule, I'm actually even more bullish. I just think people are severely underestimating the cost-benefit analysis of these two coordinators. And I'm considering Jesse the coordinator because he's calling calling the plays. Sure. and Duckland Doyle, and just the quality of this team. And I think a lot of people have PTSD and we're prisoners of the moment when it comes to the Ravens record. But historically, if you look at what we've done and how football's played and just the success, I do believe that the football gods have a plan. And obviously I say that tongue in cheek, but when you start out 1-5 and you had that brutal start last year, I'm expecting regression to the mean. I'm expecting, don't be shocked if they go 5-1 or 4-2 in these first 6 games.
Well, we're going to get deeply into that. We got a good show for you today. Rich Dubroff's going to join us as he usually does at 12:30. And there's no shortage of stuff to talk about on the Oriole front, including some breaking news, which we'll get to in just a second. And then since it's Preakness Day at 1:30, veteran horseman Mike Pons of Country Life Farm. If you live up in Bel Air, you can see it from Route 1. They're famous horse family, the Pons family, and he'll be joining us at 1:30. I don't know if he's got a horse running today or not, but he'll tell us when we have him on. But there's a lot to talk about with the Preakness, not just the race today, but what's going to happen and what form all of that's going to take. And Mike been in the game his entire life, so I'm looking forward to that. He'll have some pretty good insight for us because it's not really a user-friendly sport. If you're going to follow horse racing, you got to do some work.
Hey, you feel free to share the story of when I walked in this morning when you and I were kind of pre-show, kind of chopping it up. I looked at you with big, Coke bottle eyes, and you can tell him what I said because it doesn't feel like today's a race day.
Well, yeah, it's Preakness Day. Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever not been completely oblivious to it, I think.
But look out the window. I mean, a beautiful day at Pimlico would have been in store for all of us, and hell, we'd probably be doing a show.
Oh yeah, I'd probably be there. Bruce, I got sick. I don't know what's going on.
See, we're not going to do that. See, the better way to handle that is just you got my cell number. Just call me and say, hey, I want to go to Preakness.
Yeah. I'm sure you'd let me go.
We're both sick.
We're both
right?
we're both going. Okay.
I'm trying to bring you along.
Erin's going to do the show alone. She'll be here carrying us through.
And you know what? They'll never have us back. She'll be so good that they'll say, you guys, you guys take off. So that's the show today, and it's going to be a big one. Here's the breaking news we were talking about. With the Orioles have a need in the outfield. Dylan Beavers went on the injured list. So they have signed veteran Tommy Pham, Pham. He's been in the major leagues for 13 years. Pirates last year, Mets. You said Brewers a long time.
Yep.
And he's got an opt-out on June 12th. So this is the Band-Aid of all Band-Aids, it would seem to me.
Well, I mean, Tommy Pham's been around a long time.
He has.
There's some infamous stories about Tommy Pham and some of the relationships he's had with his teammates in the past, and I won't get into that. We'll let the stuff in the past lay in the past, and the people that want to look it up can go online and look it up. But he's a professional baseball player. He's been around a long time. I'm trying not to. I mean, let's call it what it is, right? I mean, it's a temporary solution, I guess we could say. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say we have high expectations of Tommy Pham, but hey, as a former player, you never want to feel like you're coming in and people are automatically expecting you not to have value or importance. And we'll see how it plays out.
The other interesting sidebar to this story of them bringing in Pham is that Heston Kjerstad's sitting down there in Norfolk playing every day. They apparently have decided he's at least not right now. He's not the guy, and you would think that they'd try to get him back here as quickly as they could.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I've been trying to be a little more less of an evaluator of what's happening and just aggregate this data and information. And what I mean by that is you've heard me stick my chest out a little bit on kind of my expectations earlier in the season.
Right.
And yes, they had a great series against the Yankees last week. Let's not take away anything from that. But they're still what? Are they 4 or 5 games under 500? 5 games under 500.
Yeah.
They're under 500 on the road. I think they're 500 at home. The defense leaves you wanting. The starting rotation is a lot of guys are hurt. You know what I mean? And so.
And they're not hitting.
Yeah, they're not hitting. Just way too many strikeouts, and especially way too many strikeouts from players like Gunnar, who you don't expect to perform that way. And I just don't really know what's going on with him. It seems psychological at this point.
Yeah, we'll talk more with Rich about this, but with Gunnar right now, it's painful. Like last night, he's coming up with a bases loaded in the 9th, and you just want to say, oh, no. No. But he did get a hit. I'll give him credit for that. But he is just, I've seen him his entire career, like a lot of us have, and I've never seen him go through a streak like this. He was such a natural hitter, and it seems like it reminds me of Kyle Bowler, and let me explain why. Were you here when they drafted him?
I was not here, but I observed from a distance.
Brian put on his professor hat.
Yeah.
He said, we're going to break this kid down. We love his arm. We're going to build him back up into the perfect pro quarterback, and that's what killed him. I just wonder if they're not breaking down Gunnar a little too much, and maybe he doesn't have the good muscle memory that he used to have that got him to the major leagues. You understand the question?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Gunnar was first of all, he's performed already at a high level. Kyle Bowler, who's a friend
of mine,
never
too.
really performed at a high level at the NFL level.
Right.
I mean, obviously he did at Cal, I believe. He Cal.
Did. Yeah.
But Gunnar was one of the best players in the World Baseball Classic. Didn't play enough, in my opinion, but that's another story for another day.
But the World Baseball Classic was the end of him being. I mean, he came back from that a different player.
But see, I mean, just yes or no. Do you think it had something to do with that? I don't think it had.
I don't know.
That.
I'm just saying. I'm throwing it in there.
Yeah, I don't think it did. I think the point I'm trying to make is that what was there to fix with Gunnar? There was nothing to fix. There was nothing to change. I mean, he's been an elite hitter his whole Major League Baseball career. I mean, so I just don't see the kind of like bring him in, break him down, build him up. There was nothing to break down or build up. That's why I think it's psychological. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, and obviously I don't have conversations with Gunnar. I haven't seen anything in the media that tells me that he's talked about it or opened up about it. So I'm completely in the dark, and there's probably people that are much closer to this that are also in the dark.
I tell you who will know more about this than you and me, and that's Rich Stubrow.
Yeah,
Rich.
I think it's a great question.
He's around him every day.
Yeah.
You know, it's different than it used to be. The clubhouse used to be wide open, and you could just walk through there before games, after games, whatever. And now it's a little bit more regimented.
Yeah.
But with a beat writer in baseball, you become on a day-to-day basis with these guys, and they know you and you know them, and it gets so much easier that way.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a barrier and a speed bump between media and athletes now at all levels.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I think
the athletes got a little bit more savvy.
The athlete has a lot more savvy because they've learned from past athletes getting burned.
Maybe they wanted more control of the situation.
That's exactly. Look, Bruce, let's call it what it is.
I can't tell you how many wide-eyed 21-year-old rookies have looked into the camera, like when we're in a scrum around, and look scared to death.
I see kids that are 18, 19, seniors in high school that are articulate, they're smart, they have a game plan, their parents know what's going on, their coaches are supportive. And the truth of the matter is if I put you in front of the media, what do you have to gain?
Right.
And I have a social media page. I can control my whole image right there. Why would I take risk with somebody who has an agenda potentially, who has a paywall, and you know exactly what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Why would I go to them and let them control my narrative when I have direct access to the public myself?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Yeah.
And it wasn't always a fair situation for the young player. And even as a media member, I knew that, you know, and you try to be a little bit responsible, but just the fear in those eyes.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember the first story I ever did as a professional athlete. I was on the practice squad with the Minnesota Vikings. Somebody from the paper in Minnesota said, "Hey, I want to do a feature on you." I was ecstatic. I was so excited. I was so transparent with that guy. And the things that I told him, about a third of them were put into the paper, and it wasn't that great, honestly.
Right.
It framed me as this undrafted rookie free agent that felt like I was being mistreated by veterans, and that they're not trying to get to know who I am. Like that was what he took away from that. And I said a lot of things. I mean, I probably said something like that, but that's just the life of an undrafted rookie free agent on the practice squad.
Sure.
I mean, guys they're practicing and getting ready for games. Like you're out there to simulate. I'm like Mike Allstott that day. You know what I mean? I'm pretending to be. I'm giving them a look.
Yeah.
Of course they don't know me. I just got there. So some of it makes sense, but I felt like it was definitely their advantage was taken for sure by the press in that case.
Can I give you my what I think happened there?
Sure.
I think that guy either wrote the same story or read somebody else's story and about an undrafted rookie and all the things that were in that story, and probably just plugged you into it.
Yeah,
a lot of writers and broadcasters go into stories that way.
Yeah,
preconceived.
This was 1997 or 98,
right.
And this goes back to the point that we were making about savviness. You know, I was in the NFL and obviously I had talked to like my Santa Cruz newspaper, San Diego Tribune, I believe, when I was at SDSU, but I wasn't a star there necessarily, so I didn't have a ton of things to talk about. So I just wasn't really seasoned, and I didn't really see. And what's funny, this is the most interesting thing. I remember Denny Green like our first mini camp saying, hey, the press is not your friend, guys. The media is not your friend. Be careful of what you say. Make sure you trust the people. I mean, this was what we were taught our first day, like early on. And damn, did it bite me on the ass. I mean, I had a lot of, Denny called me into his office.
Man.
I'm an undrafted free agent. I'm in the middle of the sports page. Like, what? I have no business even being talked about. You know what that felt like?
Bad.
I thought I was going to get cut.
Yeah.
I really did.
You're probably lucky you didn't.
No, actually, no, not at all.
Okay.
Denny's like, this nothing, man. Like, don't even worry about it.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's not that serious.
I understand
it wasn't,
that feeling.
Yeah, I didn't say anything negative about anybody. I didn't get a DUI. I didn't beat somebody up. It had nothing to do with that. It was just me, an unsavvy, undrafted free agent, just speaking truth about what it's like to be in the locker room as an undrafted free agent.
I got you.
Know what I mean?
Hey, one other piece of breaking news that I wanted to get to you here at the top. Grayson Rodriguez. You all know Grayson Rodriguez. He's going to have his first start of the season tomorrow for the California Angels, so that'll be interesting to watch. The Orioles, as I told you earlier, and they had that string of high draft picks. He was the only pitcher, and they invested a lot of time and worry in him, but he just couldn't stay healthy.
What if he goes out there and throws 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 9 strikeouts?
He might, but here's the thing. 2 starts from now, how's that arm going to feel?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
No, he'd go out and he'd kill you one day, but in Major Leagues, there's 162 games. You got to do it a whole bunch of times.
Well, you know how it is. We're prisoners of the moment. If he goes out there and has a great game, you know what people are going to do.
Yeah, give us something to talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
So stick around, everybody. We're going to open the phones next segment, 410-583-1057. Bruce and Femi's off and running.
This is Stories from the Pitch, brought to you by the first ever Infinity QX65 and by Lowe's. Give your yard its own moment with new limited time deals from Lowe's.
Saint-Denis, Stade de France. France had never won a World Soccer Championship. They'd never even played in the final. Zinedine Zidane, son of an Algerian immigrant from Marseille, the elegant playmaker with the bald head and the soft first touch, stepped up to a corner kick in the 27th minute. Emmanuel Petit swung it in. Zidane rose between 2 defenders and powered a header into the net. 45 minutes later, another corner. Another Zidane header. France led 2-0. Petit added a third. The Champs-Élysées became one continuous river of blue. Black, blanc, pure. The slogan of a multicultural team that had just changed France's image of itself. Zidane wept on the pitch. So did a country.
Stay tuned to this Odyssey station for more Stories from the Pitch.
This is the Fan, baby.
Big Bad Morning Show. Vinny and Haynie. Inside Access. Live on YouTube weekdays 6 till 6. Search Baltimore 1057 The Fan. Subscribe for daily shorts right to your phone and never miss what you missed. The Fan.
This weekend only at Old Navy, get $4 tees for kids, $6 tees for adults, plus $5 tanks for women. Yep, tees are just $4 for kids, $6 for adults. But hurry, it's this Saturday and Sunday only at Old Navy. Valid 5/16 and 17, select styles only.
Here's your spring upgrade. Sun's out. Drink in one hand and a free Samsung Galaxy phone in the other. All on unlimited 5G. Switch to Total Wireless and stay connected through every road trip, beach day, and everything in between. Now that's a total power move. Offer ends 7/8/2026 or while supplies last. Device taxes and fees may apply. Requires new activation on a Total 5G Unlimited or Max 5G plan, single or multi-month plan. Additional port-in, ID verification, or device financing requirements vary by device. Purchase limits apply.
In the market for a new mattress but overwhelmed by all the options? At Mattress Firm, we make it easy. Just drop in, answer a few questions, and our sleep experts will guide you to your perfect mattress. And with options for every budget and free and fast delivery, it's no wonder more shoppers choose Mattress Firm than any other mattress specialty retailer. And now through Monday, save up to 60% on Sealy. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Liberty Mutual customized this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
Many times, a person hires a law firm after an injury without doing research. It can be a big mistake or not. Sometimes, after you have hired a certain lawyer, you realize you made a certain mistake. But guess what? Just because you hire them doesn't mean you can't fire them. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you think you've hired the wrong firm, you may have. So do this. Google Morgan & Morgan results or visit forthepeople.com for cases just like yours. You may find that our full-service injury firm should have been your choice in the first place. Last year, almost 12,000 people discharged their law firm and hired us after further research. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. Visit forthepeople.com today and let's get started. Or call Pound Law on your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Can you slip away? Slip away. Slip away. Oh, I need you so.
Welcome back, Bruce and Femi. That's the great Clarence Carter. We lost him Thursday.
Oh, is that right?
At age 90.
Wow.
Yeah, just a breakthrough. Blind from birth.
I did not know that.
And he was born in Alabama in 19, well, whatever it was. But in those days, Femi, you didn't want to be a black child in Alabama with any kind of disability.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
But he persevered, taught himself the guitar, and he had a whole bunch of hits. Just one of my all-time favorites, Clarence Carter. Rest in peace. 410-583-1057 is the number. Let's bring Tony and Rosedale in. Tony, what's going on?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
What's
up, Tony?
Okay, I'm quick huggy lowdown. Tommy Pham, he will hit. He's hit most of his career. He's like Delman Young, a hired hitman, but don't play no fantasy football with him. Femi know that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I was talking about. You already know.
I'm not bringing it up. I just said don't play no fantasy football with him. Okay, I want to talk about the Ravens real quick in the schedule. Bruce, you know me a long time. You know I love 1 o'clock games.
There's a bunch of those.
You got a whole bunch of them. You should be happy then.
Yeah, because I don't like 4:15 and 12 o'clock. 8 Sundays. It throws my day off with the covering the whole league or whatever. I'm just glad we got a lot of those now. My main point, the Orioles. Now, I called last year, and a lot of people didn't agree with me when Brandon Hyde got let go. And I said he got let go because of 2 people, Adley Rutschman and Gunnar Henderson.
Okay.
Now, today, I can validate that for 2 years now, whether it be injuries or lack of production, Adley and Gunnar had not produced like we thought they were going to produce.
That's fair.
At what point do we say they not who we thought they were going to be? Because this is going on 2 years now. Whether it's injuries or production, Adley and Gunnar has not done what we thought they would do.
And you lead to another question, Tony. Mm-hmm. Do you throw money at those 2? Because you're going to have to in the next couple of years.
No.
Well, that's the decision that the Orioles are going to have to make, you know?
Yeah, they're going to have to make that. But if they look at the track record, and this, and you know, Femi was saying we would turn this around because we're too good, and I agree with him. But when you look at those 2, this has been going on now 2 years. This isn't just a slow start or whatever. This is 2 years in the makings, whether it's injuries or lack of production from those 2. That we haven't gotten the results we thought we were going to get. Yeah. At what point do we cut ties with them?
Don't know. Let's get to the Ravens.
I went to I talked about the schedule or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's all I really had to say.
All right, Tony, thanks for the call. We appreciate it. You know, those are going to be some high dollar decisions to make in the next year or two, and I wouldn't want to have to make them. You know?
Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything, and so I think that obviously with Gunnar, he's a 264 career hitter. I guess this is his 5th year, and his first year. 2023 was technically his rookie year, right? So I mean, I'm looking at his splits and stuff, and he's approaching 100 home runs. He'll be over 100 home runs here relatively soon, probably at some point, maybe 2/3 of the way through the season.
Well,
I think Gunner's been pretty good. I think Adley now that he's obviously had a resurgence this year.
He's starting to hit a little bit.
Yeah,
with Gunnar, it's a strikeouts.
Yeah, that's always
that's what you don't want to see.
I completely agree.
Let's go to JT in Parkville. What's going on?
Bruce, Femi, how we doing?
Doing
What's
good.
up, JT?
Okay, I think the Tommy Pham signing has less to do with Heston Kjerstad and more to do with the news we got, yesterday or the day before?
About
that
Westberg?
Somebody finally getting surgery?
Yeah.
Because even though they did good Wednesday against the team formerly known as the Baltimore Orioles, they were 3 for 9. When Jordan ain't in the lineup, that stat takes a hike. They go 1 for 9, 1 for 10, 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position. And I know Tommy Pham, with runners in scoring position, hits. I think it has more to do with Jordan's situation than with Heston Kjerstad.
Productive bat. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. JT, thanks for the call. Let's go to Tom in Rising Sun. Tom, what's going on?
All right, guys. How you doing?
Doing well.
What's up, Tom?
Listen, we just got this new player the other day, or what?
Tommy Pham, no, they signed him this morning, the Orioles.
They just, what was it, a free agent?
Yeah. The Mets had DFA'd him, designated him for assignment.
He wasn't hitting? Is that what the problem was, or what?
I don't know. He was hitting, let's see. With Pittsburgh last year, he hit 345, 10 home runs, 52 RBI. He's always been a productive bat, and I think Tony kind of told you what that was about. They're tired of seeing runners be stranded on base. And
Can he play third base?
No,
he's an outfielder.
He's an outfielder, and he's old. So, there's no answer there, believe me.
Well, this owner, he's a billionaire, okay? And this GM, he has to do something about this starting pitching.
Yeah.
Giolito out there still?
They did a lot about the starting pitching. They spent a lot of money in the offseason. They did all the things that you want them to do. It just hasn't worked out.
Well, injuries has a big part in that,
and
too.
that's baseball. That's just baseball. Right. Hey, did you hear me say that Grayson Rodriguez is making his season debut tomorrow for the Angels?
Yeah, he'll be on a DL before the season's over.
That's what I was going to say. All right, Tom.
All right.
Thanks for the call.
Like I said,
quick. Go ahead. Oh, we lost him? Okay, sorry about that, Tom. Call me again next week. Mike and Cliff, you guys stay where we are. Coming up, Rich Dubroff's going to join us, and we're going to talk more about the Orioles because there's a whole lot more that needs to be said. We'll also get his opinion on Tommy Pham, too, so stick around.
If you're thinking about it,
every day.
We're talking about it.
That's what I'm talking about.
105.7 The Fan.
Get ready for the $30,000 sizzling summer drawings at Horseshoe Casino Baltimore. Start earning now with drawings on May 30th to win up to $30,000 in prizes. Win big all summer long at Horseshoe Casino, Baltimore's best bet. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This golf season, get fit for clubs with Baltimore County Golf and start improving your game. Plus, Baltimore County Golf gives you more golf with your golf purchase than other retailers. More range credits to practice with your new clubs. More rounds at Greystone and Woodlands to get out on the course. More money back to Advantage cardholders to spend in the golf shop or on lessons with any of our PGA professionals. Visit BaltimoreGolfing.com/getfit to make an appointment and get more golf for your club purchase this season. Get fit and get more with Baltimore County Golf.
For 80 years, people have gone to Lincoln Tech to get serious about their future. Lincoln Tech graduates have been known for doing exactly what they trained for: fixing, building, connecting, and making a difference in their communities. At Lincoln Tech's Columbia campus, you can train in fields like automotive service, electrical, HVAC, welding, and medical assisting, and gain hands-on experience built for the real world. The skills you learn at Lincoln Tech, they go with you everywhere. Classes start this month. Visit lincolntech.edu you for info.
May's weather is pretty nice, but those hot summer days will be here soon. Don't wait until the heat hits to try to avoid high energy bills. Upgrade your home's windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale. Imagine replacing all your windows with new energy efficient ones and getting half of them free. Plus, you could even get them with no money down and no monthly payment or interest for 2 years. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com now to book a consultation.
When equipment breaks down and operations come to a halt, every single second counts. So why is your maintenance team spending 60% of their time doing anything but turning wrenches? MaintainX is the AI-powered maintenance and asset management system that helps your team get back to actually fixing breakdowns. No more searching for manuals. No more hunting down parts. No more drowning in paperwork. With MaintainX, your team can access manuals from anywhere, create new procedures in minutes, and turn voice notes into clear and complete work order feedback. What used to take hours now only takes minutes. Keep your operations moving and your wrenches turning. Join over 13,000 maintenance teams that are already fixing more and filing less. Try MaintainX for free today. Go to maintainx.com/AI. That's maintain and the letter x.com/AI.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Welcome back, Bruce and Femi on a beautiful Saturday in Baltimore. Joining us now, as he normally does on Saturdays, our good pal from BaltimoreBaseball.com. It's Rich Dubroff. Rich, we got a pretty day, if nothing else, you know?
It is. There's lots of traffic, but lots of traffic getting to Nationals Park, but it is a pretty day.
Let's talk about Tommy Pham real quick. What do you think that move has made?
They don't have a lot of choices in the minor leagues. You know, their minor league outfielders are basically hurt, or they're not good enough to help them right now. And it's sort of Pham would be a placeholder. They're sort of trying to do the same thing they did 3 years ago when they got Aaron Hicks, and Aaron Hicks looked washed up then, and he turned out to be a pretty good help for the team. And they're hoping that lightning strikes again, and that Pham could help them. Especially, they don't have a lot of punch in the outfield. Tyler O'Neill's not hitting well. Beavers is obviously hurt. Cowser is not hitting well. So, and again, they didn't. The stuff that they have in the minors just isn't good enough or healthy enough to help right now.
Well, he's got a June 12th out, so I mean that kind of proves the point there. I would think they're just going to have a look. The other thing, the offense continues to struggle. And I was driving last night. I didn't get a chance to watch the game, Rich, but I was listening to it on the radio. And when he came up, was it in the seventh inning with 2 runners on when it was Gunnar? I thought to myself, oh, no.
Yeah.
Now, he did get the hit in the 9th inning. We'll give him credit. But it's to the point now, Rich, where I'm almost sorry to see him come to the plate. It's tough,
Yeah, but he did get he did get 2 hits last night.
Yeah.
And he was pretty annoyed at going for that pitch in the dirt. On strike 3 there. So you keep thinking that, okay, he's going to break out. He was 2 for 5. He was 2 for 5 yesterday, but it's not happening. It's not happening right now. And again, don't want to bring back 2023, but this is about what he was hitting Memorial Day in 2023, and then he got hot, and they're hoping the same thing. But he just has to realize that he's one guy on the team. He can't do more than just what he can do. It's not his fault that Jordan Westberg and Jackson Holliday aren't playing next to him. He can only play shortstop and do the best that he can, and not try and play multiple positions and try too hard. If he just does what he can do himself, he'll be fine. And I think that's what the issue is.
That's an interesting take, Femi.
Yeah. So, hey, Rich, good to hear from you. So I was, Shane threw pretty good last night. Obviously, his first quality start, and you know how it is. You get a guy out, and then you give up a walk, and then of course you give up the home run. It was probably the low spot of the start, but 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 Ks. Obviously, I think his first quality start as an Oriole. What's your kind of at this point in the season? What's your assessment of Shane?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't really get on him for last night. I mean, if they hit normally, they win the game. I mean, I know I've said that a few times this year, but that's the kind of game that 8 or 9 times out of 10 you win. He's been okay. He's been okay. He's starting to pitch. He's starting to pitch a little better than he has been. But I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be okay. He's not, he's not a 1 or 2. Hopefully they'll get better starts from Trevor Rogers and Bradish, who's starting to pitch really well.
Yeah, I like what Bradish is doing. I noticed early. Go ahead.
If he's a 3 or 4, he'll be okay.
I noticed earlier in the season when he's pitching in cold weather, he really doesn't like that, and he just didn't look comfortable those first couple of starts. I think the cold had something to do. Did you notice that too, or was that just me?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's certainly possible because he pitched for Tampa Bay his first time pitching in cold weather, but he did pitch pretty well in Pittsburgh. But I think the weather that day was pretty good, even though it was Pittsburgh early in April. That was one of his better starts. So hey, Rich, that's not a bad theory.
What's the update on Rogers and Kramer? What's the background on them?
Well, Rogers just isn't pitching. Rogers just isn't pitching well, and I don't know necessarily why. They thought, well, maybe he'd be okay when he came back from when he came back from the flu, and they need him to pitch. They need him to pitch better. Kramer is working out in Florida. He has the quad strain. He's not obviously close to a rehab assignment, or we would have heard. So I think that you'll see him. You may not see him for another 2-3 weeks. I don't. That's just a guess.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't see him being ready to pitch. In the next week or 10 days.
Yeah.
So
one of the things. My apologies, Rich. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. I know. He's just not ready yet.
Yeah, I think the guy that I've been impressed with ever since that start he had against the White Sox was Brandon Young, and obviously, he had a little blip in the road in there, but it doesn't. I don't hear people talking about him much. It doesn't sound like he's going to be a person in the rotation unless somebody's hurt. What are they going to do with Brandon Young? Like, where do you see him and his role as this season kind of moves toward June and July?
Well, if everybody is pitching well and everybody is healthy, which hasn't been the case, then Brandon Young is not going to be in the starting rotation probably. But it just seems like there are pitchers who are getting hurt. Povich is hurt.
Yeah.
And Kramer's hurt. Rogers has been, Rogers has been down. Of course, he didn't. Eflin is done for the season. So, Young is a good person to have. He's pitched well. He may have pitched even better than they thought he was going to pitch. So I think that Eflin is I think that Young's good. A good insurance policy, and I think he's got some talent. And maybe in a year he'll be he'll be in the starting rotation full time. But a nice depth piece. Maybe they'll send him to the bullpen.
Speaking of young talent, Grayson Rodriguez makes his first start of the season tomorrow for the Angels. Not a lot of people in Baltimore follow the Angels, but I think you'll get some interest in that game here tomorrow. What do you think?
Well, what's interesting to me is that he didn't have a full rehab assignment. If he was with the Orioles, he would have probably pitched 5 rehab games, maybe 6. I think he only pitched 2. So that's pretty interesting to me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be obviously, interested in following. I know a lot of people will be interested in his health and to see how he pitches this year, and compare him with Boz and see how the two of them shake out. Because even though they didn't trade Rodriguez for Boz, in essence, that's what they did. That's what they did in getting Taylor Ward. So I think that it's an interesting. It's certainly something interesting that we're going to be looking at tomorrow.
Yeah. Hey, so look, they're 5 games under 500 now, and we talked about projections and algorithms and all the mathematics, and then you got to play the real baseball games, and here we are, and you see me with my chest less stuck out. I'm being a little quieter about the prospect. I hear you giggling, Rich. I hear you giggling.
It's me.
Is it you? Okay. Well, Rich should be giggling too, because he kind of told me to calm down, Sparky.
He did.
He didn't say those words, but I could hear it in his voice, and here we are, and I'm after watching a lot of O's baseball lately, I'm kind of starting to understand why people act the way that they do. You know what I mean? And so I'm being a little humbled. I still think their best baseball is in front of them. We're just past the quarter point, Rich. What's your analysis at this point? And I know there's been a lot of injuries. We know all the things that have gone wrong. Like, we understand that. But if they are able to put together a predictable starting rotation, I still like the bullpen. I still like the talent in the lineup. Where are you at? I'm actually going to listen to you this time. I'm not going to push back. I will be quiet. The floor is yours, my friend.
I think that they are in a position where if they play well, they can be a contender. There are, as I keep saying, there's so many teams that are in the same position. You look at Seattle. You look at Seattle and Toronto, who played for the ALCS. They're right in the same, in the same general melange as the Orioles are. But until they get themselves a couple of good, a bunch of good starts, here and there's been Bassett's pitched well, and Boz has pitched well, and Bradish. Until they get, a couple of weeks of those good starts, that's sort of the start. That's sort of the start to me. And I think that, I think Henderson will hit a little better. And, Alonso, he looked great for, a week or so, and now maybe not so great. He's that's kind of a mystery to me. The whole lineup doesn't thrill me. Holiday maybe comes back next week. That may help, but
maybe
he's gonna have to. He's gonna have to prove he can hit. He hasn't hit in AAA yet. I don't know if they want to, if they want to let him go another week and see how he hits to get a rhythm. But there's just not enough there right now for them to be a really good team. I think that they keep bouncing. I think they keep bouncing around for a while, and maybe at the trade deadline they go, make a bunch of moves to try and remake the team as they, as they did in 24, which actually didn't work out when they tried Eloy Jimenez and Slater, and they got Rodgers and Eflin at that time. But I think that if they're bouncing around where they are 2 months from now, it'll be an active trade deadline. So again, you just have every week we'll assess. And it's fine if you keep asking me the same question every week because we don't know. I mean, maybe a week from now something will become evident that's not evident right now.
Well, you know more about the Orioles than the two of us combined.
That's why I keep asking the same question, because I want to get a sense of where you are. And if you're feeling a certain type of way, that kind of gauges how I should probably be feeling to some degree. I'm actually going to listen to the experts in this case.
In fact, I'll tell you this about Rich. When I got here in 91, and Rich, correct me if I'm wrong, are you the only beat writer still working from that year?
Well, I wasn't a beat writer.
You were around a lot, though. I mean, are you the only guy?
I was around starting really in '92.
Yeah. Okay.
But I am the only. Actually, Rock Kabatko has been covering the team continuously longer than I have.
Well, I don't know now. Rocco covered the Stallions, right?
Yeah, but he covered the Orioles full time from '97. I actually didn't cover the team full time, and was the end of 2011.
Wow.
So I had other jobs, and I was doing other, I was doing other things, and I was around part-time. But I have been watching the Orioles a long time.
Hey, can I ask one more?
Yeah.
Rich, this is a psychological question, and this relates back to football. And a lot of times and this is all sports, actually. This is an agnostic question. It has nothing to do with one particular sport. But I've been on a lot of teams where we had our mental breakdowns and our psychological issues that led to poor play on the field. But when I saw the turn coming, it started in the locker room with the guys and how we conversed and what we talked about and the accountability part of it. And that happened first, and then the good gameplay started. But I've been on other teams where the good gameplay started, and then the accountability came. So it's interesting, that chicken and egg dilemma. So the point I want to make here is that in your experience, have you experienced that from the perspective that you have as a journalist? Have you been able to see that? Because I know with baseball, I feel like you guys are on the ground floor. You're kind of there every day. Maybe there's things that you see and that kind of lead to either a downtrend or an uptrend.
Well, I remember in 22 being surprised at how well they played all of a sudden after they got, it wasn't instantly after they got Rutschman. It took a month or so. But I think that in this case, they're going to need what I said before. They're going to need those better starts. And they've had so many injuries that they can never get enough healthy guys together. As soon as somebody, even though some of them are small, I mean, the Wolfram injury shouldn't take too long. And the Beavers injury, well, maybe it'll take 4 or 5 weeks, but it's not like he's going to be out till the All-Star break. So they haven't gotten enough. They haven't gotten enough guys healthy, and they haven't had those great starts, enough of them to really think, oh yeah, now's the time that they're going to turn. If I see Bradish and Rogers, or Bradish, Bass and Bassett, give a couple of good starts in 2 weeks, then I'll think, oh yeah, maybe this is the turn.
Yeah.
But I'm not around. I'm only in the clubhouse, for 50 minutes, 3 hours or so before the game. I'm not there right before the game.
Of course,
so I don't really know.
Sure.
I'm there after. I'm there afterwards for a bit. But a lot of times players, you can't really tell if they win or lose. I mean, you have to be. You can't walk around being devastated.
Right, for sure. 100%.
You have to play. If they lose tonight, if they at 7:00 tonight, if they play a bad game, they got to come back tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And,
you got to be even keel for sure,
and be ready to play and shrug it off.
Yep,
so
100%.
I'm not. So the answer is it's a long-winded way of saying I don't know.
I appreciate your honesty.
That's why we love Rich.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You got a great day for a ball game down there in Washington. Enjoy yourself, Rich, and thanks for your time.
Okay, my pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Rich.
There he goes.
I love Rich.
I love Rich.
He's
too.
no nonsense. I feel like I'm getting to know him better every call.
Well, yeah. Rich, Rich wants to get his thought out.
Yeah,
you know?
no, and you're speaking to somebody who enjoys getting his thoughts out too.
Well, you think? 410-583-1057. Mike and Cliff waited through that entire segment, so we're getting to you guys first. You want to get in line behind them, give us a call, 410-583-1057.
Got a hot take? The Plaza Ford text line, 410-583-1057.
Circulating Knowledge is sponsored by Vascular Surgery Associates.
Hello, I am Dr. Michael Osgood with Vascular Surgery Associates, or VSA. Do you have heavy, achy, painful legs? Do you notice swelling in your feet and legs throughout the day? Do you have unsightly or uncomfortable varicose veins? If you have any of these symptoms, you may be suffering from chronic venous insufficiency, and we at VSA can help. Visit us at vsaveins.com. That's vsaveins.com.
Hey, it's Ken Weinman. FanDuel is the clubhouse leader for betting major golf because right now, all customers can get a 25% profit boost every round of the second major. Boost your winnings on anything from outright winners to round leaders to tourney matchups and so much more. So don't wait. Visit FanDuel.com/local. Again, FanDuel.com/local to download FanDuel and take your swing at boosted winnings. FanDuel Sportsbook. It's the official sportsbook of 105.7 The Fan. 21 plus and present in Maryland. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. Please play responsibly. For help, visit them at mdgamblinghelp.org or give them a call at 1-800-GAMBLER. Again, that phone number is 1-800-GAMBLER.
In the market for a new mattress but overwhelmed by all the options? At Mattress Firm, we make it easy. Just drop in, answer a few questions, and our sleep experts will guide you to your perfect mattress. And with options for every budget, it's no wonder more shoppers choose Mattress Firm than any other mattress specialty retailer. And now save up to $1,000 on a Tempur-Pedic split king system, plus get a $300 instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
No way. Gas prices shot up again.
I know, but I got us covered.
So generous. What's your deal?
What's my deal? I went to Metro and saved. Got 4 lines for just $25 each and 4 free new Samsung Galaxy A17 5G phones and all on the T-Mobile network.
How about we go to Metro today?
Get that more for your money feeling. Visit your Metro by T-Mobile store. Just bring your numbers. Not available if you've been with Metro or T-Mobile in the past 180 days.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we know you're no stranger to setting big goals, whether in school, at work, or in life, and you're ready for more. At UMGC, we offer the skills-based education you need to move your career forward. Learn how to apply AI, data science, and other emerging tech, plus gain skills in leadership and critical thinking. You've come far. Succeed again. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business?
There's a better way. Odoo. One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more, so you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Yeah, baby.
Aaron's breaking out some new ones.
Yeah. That's Lit 'em horns. All right, here's the story. You're from the West Coast.
Yes, sir.
There is a genre of music in the Southeast, which is known as beach music. Okay? Beach music was really popular in the 60s. So I'm driving home last night, and the game's fading in and out. I'm trying to listen to the Orioles and the Nationals. There's a station in Kilmarnock, Virginia, which is at the tip of the Eastern Shore, that was booming in like nobody's business. There's nothing blocking it, on the bay. An hour of beach music.
Yeah.
So I heard that tune. I said,
so who? Give me some of the bands that are beach music bands.
Okay, I'll give you some beach music hit songs that you would know. Give me just a little more time, and our love will surely grow. Chairman of the board. You know that? Okay.
Yeah, I do.
That's beach music. Okay.
Right.
You can shuffle to it.
Okay. Aaron, we need more beach music today. I'm gonna get my beach music lesson today.
You got something? Okay, Aaron will help you out.
All right, good.
But anyway, it was great, and that song was on there, and it sounded better than anything ever sounded in my life.
I bet you were just giddy as a little boy
and pounding the steering wheel in my big dumb pickup truck. It was great. 410-583-1057. Let's go to Mike in Columbia. Mike, what's going on?
Hey, Bruce.
Hey,
what's up, Mike? How are you, brother?
Okay, a couple of things. I want to see OKC versus the Spurs.
Yes, definitely.
How do you guys like watching Victor?
I love watching him. He's like an alien out there.
I'll tell you the truth. I'm going to make a bold statement. Both of you, I want you to hear this. I think he's the next face of the NBA.
Oh, I 100% agree.
What do you think, Mike?
I agree.
Okay.
The shot blocking is unbelievable.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, I love SGA, by the way. Like, I think SGA is so talented. So he's actually, I'm a Warriors fan. So Steph Curry is my favorite player in the NBA, but like my next two guys that I enjoy watching, Ant in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I enjoy SGA, obviously. I love SGA a lot. And then Wembanyama, I don't even know, like, it's crazy. I don't even know what to make of this man. Like, I'm watching him and I'm like, this guy's on another planet.
Yeah.
Like, he's 100 years ahead of the rest of the human species out there doing the things that he does. So yeah, it's bonkers. I don't think San Antonio gets over KC in this round.
It's going to be good.
But I think maybe next year they could. I'm still thinking it's going to be the Knicks and OKC, and OKC's going to win.
And I think most people would say that, but the Cavaliers Pistons has been fascinating to me.
And Bruce.
Yes.
Okay, Utah wants this Brigham Young kid.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
If you were the Wizards, would you swap the first and for the second, plus Ace Bailey and maybe a draft pick?
I would. I was actually, when I was driving yesterday, I had 106.7 The Fan down in Washington on, and they had a discussion about that. I would not trade out of number one any lower than 2. But if I trade down to 2, then I'm going to want an all-star caliber starter to go along with it.
Ace Bailey.
Yeah.
And plus, they have 2 first-round picks in 27.
Okay.
And you have Boozer and you have that freshman, Darius Akoff.
Yeah.
That kid could run the point and he could score. I know they have guards, but this guy is young and you can move Dunk to 2 guards. Do something.
Mike, where does Akoff play? What school is he at?
Arkansas.
Okay, yeah, I remember seeing him.
Calipari.
Yep, that's right.
Out of Detroit.
Yeah, he's nice.
He's building a volcano down there in Arkansas, believe me. Hey, Mike, we got to move on. Thanks for the call.
Bill.
Thanks holding.
Mike.
Cliff in White Marsh, you held a long time, too. We appreciate that. What's going on?
That's all right. I hope you guys are well.
Yeah,
thanks, Cliff.
Mike, he really does bring the basketball.
No, he does. Mike knows his stuff.
Big time. But real quick before I get to the Orioles, Femi, not just the first couple draft picks with the Ravens. I love their draft.
Yeah.
Those tight ends, that tight end room is going to be much better in the next year or two. I like both of those guys, and the wide receivers that they brought in there, they're going to push people. I mean, those guys are really good football players, and I commend the Ravens on everything that they did in that draft.
Yeah, you know what's funny is Mekhi Lemon was my favorite receiver in the draft. I'm not saying he was the best, but he was my favorite. Yeah, and I watched a lot of USC ball. I'm a West Coast guy. My brother went to UCLA. I predicted and mocked Jacoby Lane to the Ravens in the 4th round a month before the draft. So I love Jacoby Lane because I was watching Mekhi Lemon. So he checks a lot of boxes for the Ravens. Hibner, let me tell you this about Hibner. Hibner is a monster, and when they drafted him, I didn't know who he was, but his RAS score.
Oh, I watched tape.
Yeah, I went and watched tape afterward. But his RAS score, he's in the top 10% of tight ends in tight end history in the draft in regard to his strength, speed, and agility. So don't be shocked go look at the Rams offense. Go look at the Bills offense. I'm not saying we're going to do exactly what they do, but no one deployed 3 tight ends the way the Bills and the Rams did. Do not, and everyone, I've been getting a lot of pushback on X from this. I'm not saying they're going to not run 3 wides. I'm not saying they're not going to run 2 tights, but don't be shocked when they run 3 tight ends, because if you can pass the football out of 3 tight ends, the play action game, because people are expecting run when you have 3 tight ends out there, it will be a massive advantage. Do you go?
Isn't that why they're vacating the fullback position?
Well,
because of 3 tights?
It's more of a philosophical thing, but that's part of it for sure. But I do think that the 3 tight ends look can be massive for the Ravens, and it won't be a tell that we're going to run the ball as much as we used to run the ball when we ran 3 tight ends in the past. Let me pause there. Sorry, you got me excited, Mike. You got me excited. Go ahead. I didn't mean to hijack your question.
And finally about the Orioles. And Rich is great. I listen to him every Saturday. I love his segment.
Really good dude, too. You'd like him if you knew him, I promise you.
Yeah, I've never met him. But here's my take on, they got Pham. He's going to be a guy that they can put in there every now and then. They're not going to try to put him in there every day. That would be a failure. But I'm going to tell you right now, you referenced Kerstead.
Yeah.
When he's really ready to come up, they're going to DFA O'Neill. And I'm going to tell you why. The other night I was watching the ball game with him. He squared up. He didn't hit it off the end of the bat. He hit the ball in the sweet spot of the bat, timing of the pitch, warning track. He's not the same player.
He's not at all. And I tell you something else. That he exercised the option at the end of last season. The Orioles did not. It was a 2-way option, and the Orioles weren't all that interested. But O'Neill exercised it, and that's why he's
good for him.
Really underachieving, though. He really is. Ever since he got here.
But don't give up on Kerstead. He's playing every day, and he could play even on his worst. He could outplay O'Neill today. So they got to do something with O'Neill. I mean, they're going to have to eat the salary and be done with it.
Well, the only salary they got left to eat is what's left of this season. So, I mean, it could be a lot worse there. We got to move on, Cliff. Thanks for the call. Always good to hear from you. All right, that's the first hour. Coming up next hour, Mike Pons. We'll talk some Preakness with the veteran horse trainer. Also, you heard Gunnar Henderson, or you heard Rich Dubrow bring up something about Gunnar. I want to bounce out off Femi next. Stick around.
Big Bad Morning Show. Vinny and Haynie. Inside Access. Live on YouTube weekdays 6 till 6. Subscribe for daily shorts right to your phone and never miss what you missed. 105.7 The Fan.
This weekend only at Old Navy, get $4 tees for kids, $6 tees for adults, plus $5 tanks for women. Yep, tees are just $4 for kids, $6 for adults. But hurry, it's this Saturday and Sunday only at Old Navy. Valid 5/16 and 17, select styles only.
Here's your spring upgrade. Sun's out. Drink in one hand and a free Samsung Galaxy phone in the other. All on unlimited 5G. Switch to Total Wireless and stay connected through every road trip, beach day, and everything in between. Now that's a total power move. Offer ends 7/8/2026 or while supplies last. Device taxes and fees may apply. Requires new activation on a Total 5G Unlimited or Max 5G plan, single or multi-month plan. Additional port-in, ID verification, or device financing requirements vary by device. Purchase limits apply.
University of Maryland Global Campus offers more than 55 flexible online certificates that provide short-term credentials and real-world skills you can use immediately, with a range of affordable undergraduate and graduate certificates in high-demand fields like business, AI, cybersecurity, data analytics, and healthcare. You can earn credentials quickly to help advance your career. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Memorial Day savings start now at Bel Air Hyundai, part of Jones Junction. Go see Kevin Brammer, the sales director, and get you a great sales experience. And you can save with 0% 60-month financing on 2026 Tucsons. Come see the 26 Elantra Hybrid. It gets over 50 miles per gallon and make no payments till August 2026 on every new Hyundai. Now we got banks on site for instant credit approval. Now, Kevin, he's going to give you $500 more than CarMax for your trade. Get America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, owner assurance. Plus, you get my favorite thing, Jones, for a lifetime, which includes free oil changes, free car washes, and an engine guaranteed for a lifetime with over 2 million likes and reviews. You too, you can and you will be a satisfied customer. The Memorial Savings, They start now at Bel Air Hyundai, part of Jones Junction, 1504 Bel Air Road. Only 15 minutes from the White Marsh Mall. See that great selection at Bel Air Hyundai and get you a Jones Junction tag frame just like me.
There's a reason potato chips don't come in a clear bag. It's only 2/3 full. The rest is air. It's like your 401k. You get 2/3, Uncle Sam gets the rest. Mike Kinnett, Ryan Herbert, and the team at ProStatus Financial Advisors Group can help. Their tax mapping process can help forecast what your taxes will be in the future to potentially decrease your tax bill. Call for your complimentary retirement tax mapping report, 866-597-1040, or online at prostatusfinancial.com. Advisory services offered through ProStatus Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor, insurance licensed in Maryland.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is WJZFM, Catonsville, Baltimore's sports talk at 105.7 The Fan, and always live on the free Odyssey app. Weekends on The Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
That one is a big favorite of Aaron. But another example of beach music.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one at all.
It's got that. That was a huge hit. That was long before you were born.
Yeah.
But that's a double shot of My Baby's Love by the Swingin' Medallions, which may be the coolest band name ever.
Oh, wow.
Swingin' Medallions? Come on.
Use your imagination with that one.
Well, you would, I guess.
Hey, you started it.
I don't even know what that means, but
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
I teased this before we took the break here. When Rich was on, I wanted to get to ask you a follow-up while he was on, but Rich went out in other directions, which is fine. But when we talked about Gunner, we talk about how it's all in his brain, or maybe he's doing this wrong, maybe he's doing that wrong. Rich, I think, hit it right on the nose when he said he's trying to do too much. You got guys hurt, and he's aware of the things the team's going through. You were a professional athlete. How prevalent can that be sometimes?
I think it's really prevalent, especially when you're at the level of Gunner. You know what I mean? Where expectations are high. You know, you're a team leader, not just not just based on how the public views him, but like where he hits in the lineup. You know, just the expectations, right? I mean, he's on the World Baseball Classic team, right? I mean, that tells you about how he's revered around the league.
But he knows this piece is missing. He knows that piece is missing. Is he trying to put the whole...
Yeah, I think sometimes what ends up happening, in my opinion, and once again, I haven't spoken to Gunner. I don't know Gunner on a personal level, but I do know that when you're trying to solve a problem, sometimes you go outside of your normal framework and you get overwhelmed with a bunch of different things. And honestly, the truth is to just dial it back, actually. Less becomes more. And I think I recall Ryan Ripken talking about Gunner a couple years ago. He had taken BP and it was bad, and he was on the other field, like just doing more. And I think Ryan had made the point that he probably just needs to do a little bit less, actually.
Yeah.
And I am a big proponent of meditation and visualization. And I don't know if Gunner practices that or not, but there are so many people that I've gotten help from sports psychologists and meditation and visualization and yoga. It centers you. It brings clarity. There's a place that you can go in your mind when you start to do those things, and you can work problems out. And I don't know if it's, and like I said, I don't know his swing well enough to say if it's a mechanical thing. It's probably not. It probably is a plate discipline thing. Obviously swinging the quality pitches, taking quality at bats. I know that sounds like baseball speak, but I see him look at some of the swings he takes at the balls he's swinging at. They're not competitive balls. They're not worth swinging at.
He struggles with left-handers, and he struggles low and away.
Yeah.
And that's all he sees now.
Yeah.
And I think the frustration level is making him swing at low and away pitches that he might not normally swing at, and maybe that has something to do with trying to do too much.
Yeah, and another thing, and I'm just going to add to this because we were talking on during the break about this, and I think family members as well as fans that get the chance to run into pro athletes, I think they're caught off guard by how low key we are in public.
Yeah.
Because the pressure of the game that we play, you can only have your cortisol spiked that high when you need it to be spiked that high. So when you see us out in public, it's not that we don't care. It's not that we're not invested. It's that you can't live with your BP at 180 24/7 because you'll never survive.
No, right.
So when you see us off the field or off, whatever the sport is, we're pretty chill and we can have great conversations about almost anything. It doesn't mean that our job isn't important. It's really important, but we need to be able to detach and get away and just do normal things. And so when you see guys being super chill and low key, that's how you survive.
Yeah.
You gotta take your pulse rate down to 60 because when you're playing, you know how intense the games are.
All right, let's go to Kevin in Randallstown. What's up, man?
Good day, guys.
Good day.
What's up, Kevin?
It's a lot of strange stuff that goes on social media. I'm going to talk about the Orioles in relation to that in a moment, but I've been fighting all this morning with Caitlin Clark haters. Here's a lady scores 32 points last night, and it's still not enough for these crazed people.
Yeah, she's getting that Lamar treatment.
That's a good point.
She's getting that Lamar treatment.
Yeah. And somebody said that too on social media. She's getting a Lamar treatment. That wasn't you, was it? No,
it wasn't me, but it might as well have been because I see it.
Yeah. Well, it was one person that was talking about the Orioles, and I'm probably not being fair to Mike Elias right here because I don't have any hatred for the man or anything like that, but it did make me think sort of like, because he said Mike Elias is a very good person as far as drafting is concerned, but he's not very good at putting together a team. And I had to think about that for a minute, because I like I said, I don't know whether that's being fair to the man because I know he's had winners in the past, but it certainly hasn't been working out here too good. And one of the things that this is a minor thing, but one of the things that I've noticed, I know a lot of fans were so glad when we got rid of Mateo, and I think he's with the Braves now. But when we have a need for a runner late in the game, somebody that can just flat out run. Now, we have some good runners on our team, but none of those were just got, blazing speed.
I guess JJ would probably be their speed guy right now,
Yeah, and he's not even really, what I'm talking about. I'm talking about somebody with lightning speed.
Sure.
A burner, yeah. And I think you need one on the team, for those moments. It was a situation, I can't remember exactly what it was, where Basilio, the catcher, Basilio. Yeah, I'm sorry. He was on second base, and was one out. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, we could really use a burner because Basilio is not a bad runner for his size. But he's not no burner.
No, he's not there to run. No, that's not what he does. Do you remember? I know you remember, Kevin. You're old enough. Femi, you're not. Remember the Oakland A's when they had that 3 straight World Series? You remember the owner, Charlie Finley, went out and signed the track star, Herb Washington? Remember he made him designated runner?
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Sure do. And, there are times in the game when you need something like that. I'm not saying that that's the reason for the Orioles' predicament right now, but
you can throw it on. Hey, Kevin, you can throw it on the pile. You can throw it on the pile of reasons. Maybe
it's just not. The team is just not. Just doesn't seem to be put together right from the defense and the outfield. Then they have a guy. He's not hitting either. I was just looking up before I called you guys. The Norfolk Tides. They're near the bottom of the league in where they're at. As far as collectively. But I was looking at another guy by the name of Enrique Bradfield because I remember in spring training he has blistering speed. Now you wouldn't have a guy up here like him to play a lot, but just in certain situations where you need a guy like that. and I'm saying that to say, I'll let you go on this. Earl Weaver had different guys at different times. You may not have thought much about him, Kiko Garcia, Lenny Sakata, just certain times you needed a guy to come up and do something. Terry Crowley was a great pinch hitter. Didn't play much, but boy, when you wanted him to come up and get a hit, he'd get it for you.
He's probably one of the best pinch hitters in baseball history. It's just that rosters are constructed so much differently now. You can't carry a Kiko Garcia for an entire season anymore. This guy gets hurt, or you need a pitcher or whatever. Yeah. Earl managed in a much simpler time.
That's true too.
And you can't take anything away from him, but it's just, the game has changed a lot. Kevin, thanks for the call. We appreciate it. He mentioned Terry Crowley. Regular listeners may have heard this story. If you have, bear with me. I've got to tell you this story. We hired a woman named Jennifer Kraska to produce our weekend sportscasts in 2000. You may have even seen her from time to time. She worked the Ravens games with me. And she grew up around the corner from Terry Crowley, and her best friend was Terry Crowley's daughter. He was Mr. Crowley. He was my friend's father. She went down to help us cover opening day one time. And she walks into Clubhouse, turns a corner. The first thing she sees is Mr. Crowley completely naked in front of his locker. She just covered her eyes, and he's like, what is that? One of the funniest things I've ever seen. Wow. Unfortunate for both of them, but my gosh.
Yikes. I won't touch that one.
Probably not, but that was funny. That was real funny. Hey, coming up, Warren in Owings Mills wants to talk to us. We like him. We're going to talk to him next. Stick around.
The teams you grew up with.
Ravens are world champions.
Are the ones you still love today. 105.7 The Fan.
If you dread dealing with your insurance company more than you dread yard work, in 90-degree weather.
Wow, it is a scorcher out there today.
With a swarm of hungry mosquitoes buzzing around, then you might have Insuranoia. And if you have Insuranoia, then you should get NJM. They go to great lengths to do what's best for their policyholders. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-798-4399. 800-798-4399. 800-798-4399.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
No way. Gas prices shot up again.
I know, but I got us covered.
So generous. What's your deal?
What's my deal? I went to Metro and saved. Got 4 lines for just $25 each and 4 free new Samsung Galaxy A17 5G phones, and all on the T-Mobile network.
How about we go to Metro today?
Get that more for your money feeling. Visit your Metro by T-Mobile store. Just bring your numbers. Not available if you've been with Metro or T-Mobile in the past 180 days.
Get in on the action at Horseshoe Casino this summer with their $30,000 Sizzlin' Summer Drawings. Earn your entries now and join them on May 30th for your chance to win up to $30,000 in total prizes. One lucky winner will walk away with a $20,000 cash prize. Starting June 1st, earn your chance to play Unlock the Box. One lucky guest could win up to $1 million in cash. Bigger prizes, bigger moments. At Horseshoe, there is something for everyone. Baltimore's best bet. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You know the feeling. It's 2 a.m. You're awake, running the numbers in your head. Payroll's coming. A client hasn't paid. Costs just went up. And you're thinking, how am I going to make this work? That's where LendSeek comes in.
That was me. I had payroll in 3 days and money tied up in receivables. I couldn't wait weeks for a bank. I went to LendSeek, and within minutes, I saw real funding options. They were clear, upfront, no games. By the next day, the money was in my account. Payroll went out, crisis over.
LendSeek uses AI to match your business with the right funding, up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours.
With LendSeek, it's not just funding, it's knowing you're covered when things get tight.
If you've been in business for at least 1 year with at least $500,000 annual revenue, apply today. No upfront costs, no prepaid penalties. Because in business, waiting isn't an option. Start ready, stay ready with LendSeek. Apply at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
There you go. That's the chairman of the board, General Johnson and Company, and we're educating Femi today.
What year is this?
That was probably 1970, 71.
Yeah. Wow.
Beach music was, I want to say 61 to 75, maybe. That was the real fat period of that, and it was making hit records and all. It's dance music. It's dance music, and because they do that dance the shag down there.
Oh, is that right?
And it's supposed to sway, and that's what that music does.
Well, you know you're on YouTube, right? So people can... All right, just letting you know, just in case you forgot.
I keep forgetting. Scott, our old boss, he sent us that picture of the mics in front of our face, and he said, well, you need to move those. And I'm thinking to myself, with all my TV experience, you think I would have figured that out on my own. You know, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. So, but we had a big crew in TV.
Yeah.
You know what we have now? We got Aaron.
Yeah.
And we're getting more done with Aaron.
We're in the automation phase.
Aaron is interesting. I was thinking about this driving in, and I wanted to make sure we talked about Aaron today. Aaron is a combination on this show of little sister and mom. Would you say? A little bit of mom, bit of little sister.
Is that how you feel? Is that how she feels? I want to hear her opinion on it.
Oh, she's
like, no. She's like, no. I have nothing to say.
Do you understand why I say that, though?
Yeah.
A little bit of stern mom going on.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Is she putting a headset on?
She's putting a headset on.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see her take on it. She does have to keep us on track, though, obviously.
All right, what do you think? Little part mom, part little sister. What do you think?
I can slightly see that. I mean, I definitely try to keep you guys on task. And then the Friday, hey, gentlemen, hey, can I have this information? And then for little sister, I keep forgetting that you guys are a lot older than I am.
She's talking to you, Bruce. She's not talking to me.
I'm talking to both of you.
No, definitely not.
Look, I'll say that I'm a lot older than her, but you're older than her. Okay.
Yeah. No, I look. This is your guys' show. I'm just an extended guest that's here every Saturday. You know what I mean? You guys have been working together way longer than I've been involved. Okay. You know what I mean?
All right.
So,
all right.
But I do appreciate the prompts on Friday, though, Aaron. I do appreciate that for sure.
I have a scheduled reminder for myself just to send it out.
And that's where the mom thing came from. Let's go ahead and pull the curtain all the way back for our audience. We would send her texts and emails, like 9 of them on Saturday morning. And she sent a group text that basically said, look, you're going to tell me by this time, and it's going to be settled by then. I don't have time to cheat. At that point, that's when mom took over.
I understand process. That part I totally get.
All right. Thank you, Aaron, for everything you do.
No problem.
All right. 410.
And Aaron's a Buffalo fan, by the way. Aaron, don't go away. Stay here. Stay here, Aaron.
Not just a Buffalo fan, but her mom is a Giants fan.
Oh, okay. So
I come from a very interesting football family.
Break it down for us. So let's hear it.
I am a Bills fan. So we are from New York.
New York, yes.
I'm a Bills fan. My mom is a longtime New York Giants fan, and my dad is a 49ers.
Okay, I like that.
It's very interesting.
That's interesting. Well, you guys have I guess you have 3 chances at something good happening in your house then, right?
And then we adopted the Ravens when we moved
so you have
down
4
here.
you have 4 chances then.
Yeah, we have a bit of a mixed bag.
I like that. So Aaron, the Ravens play the Bills at 1:00, week 8, I believe it is.
I think so.
And I think that That's great for us because that could have been a primetime game in their new stadium.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they could flex it, but I mean, they put it as a 1 o'clock game in week 8. You know what I mean?
So that doesn't make sense.
This is my thought. I'm like, hey, if they want us to come there at 1 o'clock, that's advantage.
Yeah.
Look, it's a lot easier game than 8 o'clock when everyone's drunk and crazy. That's Buffalo's a wild place.
Been there.
Aaron, have you? Are you going to go to any games this year potentially in the new stadium?
Probably not. I'm currently saving up for a vacation trip in December to Puerto Rico.
Okay, cool.
Much better.
Yeah.
She was in favor of no roof, too.
Oh, yeah. I'm in favor of no roof.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with
obviously.
you. But isn't that the right way to experience it, though? Especially in Buffalo.
Especially in Buffalo. You gotta have
that's like your guys'
snow.
superpower. Like, you want that. Like, let's not put a dome on that thing.
It truly is, especially when you get to see the fans in the stadium.
Yeah.
Just truly, no shirt. They don't need it.
Yeah.
Fully painted.
Yeah, I have Buffalo fans pissed off at me every day because of my X profile, and we go back and forth. Josh and Lamar, and I got the data, but you know what? I actually do respect Buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
Great organization, win a lot of football games. Josh Allen is super talented. I really like Josh a lot. I actually try not to lean into the stuff in the gutter and the cesspool stuff. But I do respect the organization, and I think they're going to be a threat to be a number 1 seed, just like I think the Ravens and Kansas City are going to be a threat to be a number 1 seed. And I think Houston actually has the best defense in the NFL on paper right now based on their performance last year. But I'm so psyched to see what Houston, Buffalo, and the Ravens do this season. So I'll stop there, Aaron.
All right, let's go to Warren in Owings Mills. Warren, what's going on?
Good afternoon.
What's up, Warren?
How you doing?
Doing good, brother.
All right.
I was going to talk Orioles, but a couple callers ago brought up the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about that. Now is a great time once you get through the first round, which is usually mismatch. But I want to start off by messing with you, Bruce, because you said you would make a bold take that Victor Wembanyama is going to be the face of the NBA. I think that's a bold take.
Let me add a second one to that. Fire is hot.
Yeah.
Water is wet. It's called stating the obvious.
But you'll get a kick out of this. I want to talk about him for a minute, but then I want to, since Femi's a Warriors fan, and I am too, and I'll tell you why. But and you'll remember this, obviously, from being from Virginia. Victor, to me, is a lot like Ralph Sampson, and if Ralph Sampson had come along 30 years later, but remember, Ralph came up in a generation when you're 7'4", you're supposed to be playing in the paint.
Yeah.
Although Ralph and threes weren't big in the NBA then, but Ralph could shoot some threes. Ralph was very mobile, could run up and down the court.
Not right away, though. I covered him. Yeah. I covered his freshman year at Virginia before I went down south, and I saw him play a lot that year. And that whole freshman season, he had grown a lot. He was 7'4", and the parts didn't work correctly all the time. And he spent that whole season trying to get his feet under him, Warren, if you remember.
Yeah, Victor's a little bit more like just kind of seamlessly athletic. But I know what you're saying because I can see the comparison.
Yeah.
And had Ralph maybe come up, a couple decades later with the development, and obviously remember, Victor was developed at an academy in France, right? And that's all that he did 24/7. Now I can see what you're saying. A different era, born 40 years later. I see the comparison. I think it's fair.
Ralph was ahead of his time.
Yes,
if Victor
at that
had come
time.
along 40 years ago, they would have put his tail down in the paint.
Yep.
And because you didn't play the game the way it is now. So, and I'd be interested, too, to see how tall Victor really is. Because I know at the Combine, they're supposed to measure you in your socks only. Because a lot of times they used to cheat on these guys' height because they measure them they'd be 1.5 inches, 2 inches taller. But if you're seeing Wembanyama standing next to like David Robinson, who's supposed to be 7'1", he towers over David Robinson.
Yeah.
I think Victor's got to be 7'6", and he's just incredible. But getting to the Warriors real fast.
Wait, we're running out of time, Warren. Fast as you can.
Yeah, go to ESPN's website, Femi. There was a great long article this week. I think it was on Thursday that I read. It took like 10 or 12 minutes where they focused on Steve Kerr, and I think they're writing a book. The guy was writing a book on him. And it was about the whole last season and his decision for his career.
I'm looking. I pulled it up just now as you were talking about it. That's written by Wright Thompson, who's one of the best writers in America. He's a Southern guy.
Yeah, Femi, read that because as a Warriors fan, you'll love it.
Yeah.
So, just quick question: yes or no? Is he coming back next year? Yes or no?
Yeah, he is. That's what
he already said he was.
That article.
Okay, cool.
All right.
With that, but it went through the whole process.
Okay. Warren, it's great to hear from you. Keep calling. We'll talk again real soon. We got to hit a break right now, and on the other side, we're talking Preakness with Mike Pond. Stick around.
What happens next happens here. Baltimore Sports Radio.
That ball is out of here.
105.7 The Fan.
Patriot Harley's Freedom Promise event this week. What you pay is what you get back. Purchase any new Harley Sportster from us and get your purchase price back on trade. Patriot Harley's Freedom Promise event is now through Sunday. Newer use 2016 or newer Sportster models. Redeem purchase prices include tax, title fees, and extra. Offer until 31/26 for trade guarantee.
This golf season, get fit for clubs with Baltimore County Golf and start improving your game. Plus, Baltimore County Golf gives you more golf with your golf purchase than other retailers. More range credits to practice with your new clubs. More rounds at Greystone and Woodlands to get out on the course. More money back to Advantage cardholders to spend in the golf shop or on lessons with any of our PGA professionals. Visit BaltimoreGolfing.com/getfit to make an appointment and get more golf for your club purchase this season. Get fit and get more with Baltimore County Golf.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
May weather's pretty nice, but those hot summer days will be here soon. Don't wait until the heat hits to try to avoid high energy bills. Upgrade your home's windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4 Get 4 free sale. Imagine replacing all of your windows with new energy efficient ones and getting half of them free. Plus, you could even get them with no money down and no monthly payment or interest for 2 years. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com now to book a consultation.
I need a little range, step to the range.
There's a new flavor in town, the Jalapeno Ranch Club at Chick-fil-A. With that juicy Chick-fil-A original spicy or grilled chicken, a buttermilk ranch bun, candied bacon, pepper jack cheese, and jalapeno ranch sauce. It's got big ranch vibes with a little heat. Chick-fil-A's new Jalapeno Ranch Club. Available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we know you're no stranger to setting big goals, whether in school, at work, or in life, and you're ready for more. At UMGC, we offer the skills-based education you need to move your career forward. Learn how to apply AI, data science, and other emerging tech, plus gain skills in leadership and critical thinking. You've come far. Succeed again. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Here I go again, thinking with my heart. Here I go again, blinded by the dark.
We've created a monster, haven't we? Welcome back, Bruce and Femi, on a beautiful Saturday. And Femi, I would see you at the Preakness several times.
Yes, sir.
There were beautiful days, there were rainy days, there were cold days, but this day just screams Preakness to me. Joining us now is a friend of ours from the famed Country Life Farm up in Bel Air, veteran horseman Mike Pons. Mike, thanks for taking a few minutes for us today.
Hey, I hope you can hear me. I'm inside the grandstand, and if the race goes off, it may get a little loud, but that's the way it goes.
That is. It's a transitional period for the Preakness, to say the very least. I mean, you're an insider. There's a lot going on there. There's 4,800 people there. What was it? 2017, you had 140,000. A lot of change. So Femi comes into the studio today, Mike, and he sits down and he says, "Oh, it's Preakness Day?" And I think a lot of people feel that way.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry, Mike.
Yeah, it is kind of an onside kick, but it's a unique year, and we were due for this ever since they signed the bill to rebuild Pimlico back in 2020. So we knew it was going to happen, and here it is. And next year, I don't think that the grandstand and clubhouse will be done yet.
Correct.
So they'll have tents in the infield, and it'll feel like an Irish sort of festival country day at the racing. And then in 2028, they'll have it all ready and everything. Belmont took 3 years to build. It took 3 years, 3 Saratoga Belmonts, and we'll probably to get to normal, and we'll probably be at least 2.
Well, let's hope.
It's fun and festive, and it's different, unique.
Different and unique are two very good words to use here, Mike. There's a lot of controversy right now involving the Triple Crown. The Derby winner, I think, for 3 out of the last 5 years has not come to Baltimore. They say the races are too close together. They want to space them out. I know that Churchill and Pimlico wouldn't mind, but Belmont doesn't want to move their race back. Is that the way you understand it?
Well, we'll see. This year, after the Belmont, the TV contract comes up for bidding.
Okay.
NBC's got it. Fox wants in. And if I'm Fox or whoever buys this thing, I'm going to, all right, boys, here's your schedule. First Saturday in May, first Saturday in June, first Saturday in July. Have at it. Something like that. But we're in a sport without a commissioner, without a central office, and these kind of things are Achilles' heels. This should have been figured out a long time ago. My baseball guys, now there's a pitch clock.
Yeah,
there's
definitely
an AI umpire to call the balls and strikes. All the sports have to adapt or die. So I think we're going to change. I don't know what it's going to look like, but that's the best suggestion I've heard so far.
Yeah, Mike, I hope they do change and adapt. I mean, you evolve or die. That's just the reality of it. And I mean, what a crazy Kentucky Derby. I had to rewind it because I watched Golden Tempo come from the back. I didn't know where he came from, and I was just shocked. I don't recall seeing anything like it, and what a bummer that Golden Tempo isn't running today. Give me a little history on that comeback and where that kind of sits historically, because I'm not sure how to even interpret that.
Well, I thought Sovereignty last year would have laid over the Preakness field and then won the Triple Crown at his home base in Saratoga, and I was really disappointed because he was a generational talent horse. And you saw Baffert twice win the Triple Crown in 215 with Faro, and then Justify in 218.
Right.
But it's difficult. And the Derby is this giant Megillah that, you write it on your epitaph, won the Derby. Just like Femi, you won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Any football player, what did you do? Oh, I won Super Bowl. We had a stallion named Malibu Moon who got orbed to win the 2013 Derby. Those are change your life days. And, Baffert and Lucas had to win the Preakness before they had the client to get the horse to win the Derby.
Yeah.
And I think you could see Brittany Russell winning today. She won 3 yesterday, a change your life day for her. And she'd get even more better clients. And so I love watching that. The Bonifaces in 83.
Yeah.
I love it when you watch it change. Cherie DeVoe, I saw on Good Morning America on the Monday after the Derby, change your life. And you watch her watching her horse, and she's going out of her mind. And I've seen things at horse races like that I've been to a lot of football, basketball, lacrosse, every other sport you can think of. I've never seen things like that.
No.
Even the Hollywood actors to do that.
Yes, that was wild.
I mean,
anyway.
in the media, Mike, we tell people that there's no better place to find a story than go to the racetrack. There's a million stories as soon as you get out of the car, right?
Yeah, Red Smith loved the racetrack, the old Herald Tribune writer, because everyone is they're willing to talk. They got time. That you can ask Bill Mott, one of the great horse trainers of all time. He'll sit down and go through. You try to get time with an attorney or an accountant or whatever, and you got to pay by the hour. These guys who are every bit probably better at what they do, and they're very generous with their knowledge. It's an entirely different game. I love that aspect of it.
Hey, Mike, you know what?
More things were like that.
Mike, I'm so fascinated by Golden Tempo. While you're here, I'm just going to focus on Golden Tempo. I just have to because who else am I going to ask?
Okay.
There's nobody else I can ask about this. Give me the psychological profile on the horse and what we can expect at the Belmont.
It's going to be boom or bust for him. As a stallion prospect, he wins, he's launched. If he gets beat, he's diminished. So it's going to be interesting. And I didn't like his style for the Preakness on Laurel, which is a little deeper track than Old Pimlico, which was, used to be like a landing strip. So it's going to be interesting. And I don't know. I mean, time will tell if that's the right move or not. But I was just so proud of Cherie DeVoe to be the first gal. Do I see a gal in the Major League dugout?
Yeah.
Or in the NFL sidelines or NBA? They might be an official, but there's nobody in that kind of position. And that makes it unique. This sport's very good that way. There's some of the top trainers in Australia and are gals, and, it's coming. But I just want someone who's good at what they do. So I love that we're unique that way. The first of all the major sports. I mean, they didn't come close. There might be a gal who owns the team, but
maybe
that's pretty unique. And that part of it, that Golden Tempo's got all the gal followings. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
really.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now,
Cherie DeVoe was blown over by it all.
Yeah.
Now
I got to go to New York.
A lot of people think that Brittany Russell's going to be standing in that winner's circle today. You talk about a female trainer. I mean, she's really got a chance today. And the best part of the story, Mike, the part I like is her jockey is her husband. You don't really hear that too often.
And a couple years ago, he had a bunch of falls and broken collarbones and wrists, and poor guy couldn't get through an airport in the metal detector. But now he's on a roll. He rode Post Time. He won over $1 million. He won 11 straight races at Laurel. I mean, she's a darn good horse trainer. Of course, part of me dies because I'm in a lot of those races running second. Yeah. But you got to tip your hat to her. And they've been Senator Baffert's B horses, and she's turned a bunch of them around on a different circuit under different circumstances. But still, at one point she was winning 40%. I mean, that's off the charts.
Do you have anybody?
Anyway, but she's done.
Do you have anybody running today? Do you have any?
There are 8 by my stallions running today, 8 progeny of my stallions, and 4 yesterday, mostly in the undercard, but nobody in the great big races. If I had one that I loved a chance, you would have seen the banner behind the airplane, like at the beach flying around your studio or whatever, So that's the other thing I like is most of the guys in this game are modest. We don't get a first down or a sack or make a tackle and jump around and, they just get up and do their work. And the work ethic of the people in the backstretch, my trainer friends are up at 4:30 in the morning. They go at it hard. They're done by the time I'm midway through my morning. And I see the grooms and the exercise riders, and, they come to Maryland, our training operation, like for lunch. They double dip, the riders do, because I want the best riders. And these guys come after getting off stakes horses, and maybe some of them, maybe they can coach up my young horses and help them a little bit. So it's fun. But Maryland is a uniquely beautiful state. I mean, you're 42nd in size. I don't know what we're on population, but there's some really cool things, the Chesapeake Bay and then the Preakness and the horse racing and breeding. We had an open house on Mother's Day, and I'm thinking we're mowing the yard and flipping the hedges. Are 25 people coming? There were 400 people came through the door, and mom and grandmom wanted to see the horses, all the foals and the mares and foals.
Yeah.
They still love us. The one thing we have to remember, the jockeys are wonderful and athletic, and you can bet on the horses and the pageantry and the history. The horse is the most beautiful creature on earth.
Oh, yeah.
And if we keep him or her at the center of what we're doing, every other decision decides itself. And sometimes we get a little off kilter. And but I love it when, at home, the horses train the people on the farm.
Yeah.
It's time to eat, time to go out. But, they just know, and they love the routines like kids do. But They're a hell of a lot smarter than you give them credit for.
I believe
Did you get a chance to watch Race for the Crown that came out last year on Netflix last April? I was so fascinated by that show at every single level. I was blown away by it. I recommend it every time horse racing comes up. Did you get a chance to see it?
Well, I didn't watch it from beginning to end, but I've seen snippets, and I know most of the characters in the play. So it's fun because, what's he saying today? What's Rapole got going today, you know? He's our de facto commissioner. And here's a guy, wanted to buy the Mets, raised in Queens, can't buy the Mets. He goes and buys 70 yearlings. Yeah. I don't know what he spent on them at Keeneland, Saratoga. Yep. But all of a sudden, he's got a franchise, and he's sitting on Pletcher's, stool outside the barn. It's really pretty cool. Yeah. You can't buy a chunk of the Orioles or the Ravens, and hell, the San Diego Padres bring $2 billion. Yeah. But you can get in this game and raise a lot of hell for significant less quid.
Yep.
Or buy a micro share like Seize the Gray and win the Preakness a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Or we sell shares in brood mares and racehorses and for middle class type of folks,
Let's bottom line this thing. This is a controversial time for racing in Maryland. There are proponents on either side of the bill. Are we going to be okay racing wise in this state?
I think so. One thing you got to remember: the $400 million for the rebuild of Pimlico is a loan. LOAN. Wow. It's not a grant. It's not a gift. They didn't give a new Pimlico to the horsemen. Unlike baseball and football, we got to pay it back.
Yeah. With
interest. So it separates us from the the wealthy guys who could afford to buy their own stadium. They don't. Yeah. And I get it, but. And there is going to be some consolidation if the number of foals every year, the foal crop, contracts. But what's nice in Maryland is, there's still a pretty good core of folks that love this game.
Yeah.
And they have out-of-town owners that, maybe we can grow this pie here a little bit. But a stabilization of a new Pimlico will certainly help because racing is the engine that drives this whole game.
Definitely. Mike Pons, as always, I appreciate your time, my friend. Good luck the rest of the afternoon.
Hey, you can always bet on your phone, fellas. Help the cause here. All righty.
Thanks, Mike. All right, Mike. There you go, man. Mike Pons, Country Life Farm.
Mike is great, by the way.
Mike, I told you you'd like Mike.
Yeah, I like Mike a lot.
When you're driving into Bel Air, Country Life Farm is off to the right, just before you hit town, and it's beautiful, and it's worldwide famous, and they do a lot of breeding now. He still runs racehorses, but I knew he was the right guy because he's a storyteller, that's for sure. All right, stick around, everybody. Gosh, we're way into the show, and we really haven't tackled the schedule yet. And Femi's got a lot to say about the schedule. Raven schedule coming up. Stick around.
Big Bad Morning Show. Vinny and Haynie. Inside Access. Live on YouTube weekdays 6 till 6. Search Baltimore 105.7 The Fan. Subscribe for daily shorts right to your phone and never miss what you missed. 105.7 The Fan.
Here's your spring upgrade. Sun's out. Drink in one hand and a free Samsung Galaxy phone in the other. All on unlimited 5G. Switch to Total Wireless and stay connected through every road trip, beach day, and everything in between. Now that's a total power move. Offer ends 7/8/2026 or while supplies last. Device taxes and fees may apply. Requires new activation on a Total 5G Unlimited or Max 5G plan, single or multi-month plan. Additional port-in ID verification or device financing requirements vary by device. Purchase limits apply.
Hey, it's Ken Weinman. FanDuel is the clubhouse leader for betting major golf because right now, all customers can get a 25% profit boost every round of the second major. Boost your winnings on anything from outright winners to round leaders to tourney matchups and so much more. So don't wait. Visit FanDuel.com/local. Again, FanDuel.com/local to download FanDuel and take your swing at boosted winnings. FanDuel Sportsbook. It's the official sportsbook of 105.7 The Fan. 21 plus and present in Maryland. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. Please play responsibly. For help, visit them at mdgamblinghelp.org or give them a call at 1-800-GAMBLER. Again, that phone number is 1-800-GAMBLER.
You know the rush when you reach that goal, when something you've worked for pays off. That's success. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move your career forward. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science. Build your leadership and critical thinking skills. Apply by June 1st and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
This deer season, John Deere wants to give you the home field advantage. We're bringing you the best offers of the season, whether that's cash off on select new machines or a shot at the ultimate Major League Baseball prize package. Because right now, you can enter for a chance to win an MLB All-Star experience for you and 3 friends, complete with travel and lodging for All-Star Week this July. Deer season is going on now through June 3rd. Visit johndeere.com/deer season to enter and view the offers and complete contest rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
You know these nice, low humidity, sunny spring days we've been experiencing? It ends tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm going to be out cutting. I got to cut the grass tomorrow. I'm going to be out there about 7 because it's only going to be like 80 at 7 a.m. But it's here all week. And I'm going to warn you. I'm going to warn everybody. We started this show in January, right? Or in the winter. You're about to see me start coming in here in shorts. And the reason I'm warning you about this is my legs
are pretty white.
Swans eating marshmallows in a snowstorm.
Okay.
So I'm just giving you advance warning.
Well, you know, I normally have my sunglasses, but I'll make sure I wear them.
Double pair.
Yeah.
Erin has seen me in shorts.
Yeah.
She could probably verify that. So let's talk about this schedule. One of the big criticisms that I have, or not criticisms, but advice, is I like to remind people that the league changes a lot year to year. And when you look at a schedule, try not to base all of it on what the teams did last year, because there is that much change. We went through this thing last week. And you had them, I think, 13-2 or something.
13-4.
Has anything changed?
No, it just solidifies my belief because I feel like to navigate this, like I look at the first 6 games. I think they're going to be favored in Indianapolis. They're going to be favored at home versus the Saints.
Right.
They should be favored against the Cowboys in Rio.
Brazil, right.
Yep. They'll be favored against the Titans, and they'll be favored against Atlanta, and they'll be favored against the Browns. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Their first 6 games, they'll be favored. And then guess what? Then the Bengals come here. They'll probably be favored in their first 7 games. They don't play a playoff team until their 8th game.
November
which is
1st, Bills.
Yeah, against the Bills, exactly. And that's a 1 o'clock game, which we talked about earlier. I think that in their first 6 games, the juxtaposition of last year when we were 1-5, we could easily be 5-1, 4-2 worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And they need that hot start. We haven't had a hot start in years.
No.
And so I think these games, the games that I'm earmarking, I'm looking at the Cowboys because they've got a really good offense. They did some stuff with the draft. They brought some defensive guys in. And obviously I'm looking at that Falcons game on Monday night.
Yeah.
So I think those will be the 2 biggest tests. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it. And I like what I like about the game between the Bengals and the Bills is I think that game on. You have to, let me look at this real quick.
I got it. The Bengals October 25th.
Yeah, the thing is my schedule doesn't have the days. So there's a mini bye between, here it is. It's the Jaguars and Chargers.
Yeah.
So you have the Bills on Sunday, the Jaguars on Thursday at home, and then you have the Chargers at home, and you have an 11-game bye, mini bye, which is 11-day mini bye, which is great.
And I wanted to get to that next because 2 weeks later is their actual bye, week 13, December 6th. Is that too late?
No, it's perfect. So I did an analysis and I messed it up the first time I posted it, but 56% of the teams that have won the Super Bowl since 2000 have the bye between weeks 10 and 13.
Really?
80% of teams that win the Super Bowl have the bye between weeks 7 and 13, going back to 2000. So that's an advantage. Mm-hmm. And if you talk to players, which luckily you have a former one sitting here, we love having a late bye. But Bruce, this is the thing. You have a mini bye a couple weeks before that.
Yeah.
And then you have another mini bye after that.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for the Ravens to go into those final 4 games, which are all division games. I think it's Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincy, Pittsburgh.
I wanted to talk to you about that, too.
I love it. And I think that this schedule, it emboldens me more. Before I even saw the schedule, I think I said 12-5. I think last week when we ran through it, it was either 12-5 or 13-4. I'm thinking if we do what we're supposed to do, the number 1 seed should be in play coming into the last 4 weeks of the season, in my opinion.
I don't think I've ever seen a first Steelers game on December 20th. I mean, you got to wait that long to see them play the Steelers, and then they play them again in 3 weeks. But the last 4 weeks of the season is all in the AFC North. Yeah. Is that coincidence, or do you think they wanted that to happen?
No, they wanted that. I mean, I don't know if they wanted it to be all 4 games, but you know how complex the schedule making is. So maybe they're like, okay, we'll get 2 or 3 at the end. They're like, actually, you know what? Let's just do all 4 in a row. And that could be what decides the division if you believe the Bengals and Steelers are going to be contenders. I'm leaning more toward the Bengals being a contender than the Steelers, and let me tell you why. Mike Tomlin was a therapist, a big brother, a defensive savant, and embodies what the Steelers are. That's gone. I think that Mike Tomlin is more important to the Steelers than John Harbaugh was to the Ravens.
I agree with that. Sure.
Because John was a true CEO.
Yeah.
And I know Mike was a pseudo CEO, but he still was a defensive-minded guy. Like that was his area of expertise. Now, they're very similar in the way that they manage. Just high level, we'll say that it's kind of an end of an era when they both went out together.
Right.
But I think that Jesse Minter has a much better understanding, in my opinion, of what's required to get the Ravens where we want to go than Mike McCarthy. And that's no slight to Mike. I just think that Mike, I know he's a Yinzer, as they like to say. He's from there. But look, let's be honest. He coached in Green Bay, and then he was in Dallas. He wasn't coaching for a bit. I just don't see the fit to him in Pittsburgh being as seamless as people think.
I'll tell you something else. I didn't hear this. This is a guy that used to cover the Steelers, and he told me that towards the end in Green Bay, those two didn't get along at all. And that Aaron Rodgers is the biggest grudge holder in the history of the NFL.
But do you think that Aaron and Mike didn't hatch this out in the back?
You would hope so.
I'm almost 99% certain that they did.
But he's still not signed, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, this is the problem. Remember the Ravens-Pittsburgh game in Pittsburgh? The Ravens were dominating that game physically.
Yeah.
The first series of the third quarter, the Steelers were averaging 3.7 yards a play. They were doing nothing on offense. Then what happened? Not his fault. Alohi Gilman knocks Kyle Hamilton out of the game. The whole complexion of the game changed. They went from averaging 3.6 or 7 yards a play to 6.8 yards a play. Their yards per play doubled when Kyle Hamilton went out of that game. That's directly tied. They were doing nothing on offense. And I don't see this offense getting much better. And their defense was not great. Now, look, they know how to play the Ravens. The Ravens Steelers throw the records out, throw all the stuff. I understand all that. But if we're going to diagnose the effects of losing their head coach, who's been put in place to run these teams now, the systems from Declan, the systems from Jesse, and what I see Pittsburgh doing, check Ravens. And I know that we can sit here and thump our chest and stick our chest out here in May, but I'm going to stand on business. I think that the Ravens are going to have a more difficult time with Cincinnati than Pittsburgh this year.
Because of Burrow?
Because of what
they've decided they're going to play defense this year in Cincinnati.
They brought Dexter in.
Right.
I like some of the guys that they drafted. I like some of the signings the Bengals made on defense. Their problem's always been Joe being healthy and their defense. And some of this stuff is cyclical. Like I always say, injuries is more art than science. I expect the Bengals to be the best versions of themselves. I do not expect Pittsburgh to be the best versions of themselves.
Right.
That's just that's where I'm at right now.
But you've heard me say this before. I write Pittsburgh off every year.
Yeah, I'm not writing them off. I'm just saying that yeah.
And then you get late in December, and guess what?
Yeah, there they are.
Guess what?
They haven't had a losing record in a long time.
There they are. We're still waiting on some news on the center position.
Yeah.
I should say we're waiting on news. They haven't said whether the center's on the roster or not. I still think he's not. But the ones that they have, I wouldn't call it a bumper crop, but they got some guys. Right?
Yeah, so Danny Pinter is a vet, right? He's played in 77 NFL games. He's had 10 starts.
Right.
Obviously, Nick Dawkins is the undrafted free agent from Penn State. He played with Venga. I like that. Actually, a pretty athletic center. And remember, his dad played in the NBA.
Yeah.
We have Corey Bullock.
Is that Daryl Dawkins' son?
Yeah, it is. That's his son. Yep.
I didn't know that.
It is.
Wow.
And we have Corey Bullock, who was obviously at Maryland, who was on the team last year. I think he might have been on the practice squad.
Yeah,
obviously,
he
didn't
was.
play at all. And then we have Javon Gwynn. And this is the guy that I want you to pay attention to.
He was the one with the...
He was in Atlanta with
left-handed quarterback?
No.
Okay.
No. So Javon Gwynn came over from Atlanta. He was hand-selected by Coach Ledford. And I was listening to Coach Ledford talk about Javon Gwynn on The Lounge, the Ravens internal podcast that they put out. I think it's every week. Coach Ledford was the guest. And he said some things that I think have flown under the radar. He made his point that Javon is a guy that he hand-selected to bring over. He's waited his turn, and I think he believes Javon Gwynn has a high upside. So if we believe that the Ravens center is on the roster, let's just play this game for a moment. I'm not saying that he is. I'm just saying it's possible that maybe Javon Gwynn is the dark horse in this whole thing. And if Coach Ledford believes in him, and Coach Ledford, by everyone I've spoken to, is probably one of the best offensive line coaches in the NFL. He is going to be the offensive run game coordinator, by the way. He selected him for a reason. It wasn't by happenstance. And I've been a guy who's been hand selected by a coach to move along with him.
I remember that.
And I didn't sit on the bench. I played. You know what I mean? And so I've seen this movie before. And I know that everybody is concerned about the center position because we have PTSD about what happened with our guard position last year, and I understand that. I am not as worried about the center position as others are because I think that the things that we did with John Simpson at the left guard, with Venga Ioane at the right guard, and hiring an amazing offensive line coach, if we have to use the guys that are on the roster, I am not as concerned as some. And I made a statement when I filled in with Tim Barbalays and Ken Wyman a couple weeks ago. Ken and Tim were of the belief that maybe we would share a trade for the Bears center because they drafted Logan from Iowa with the second round pick. I'm not so certain that they're going to be so quick to give him up. So I made a statement that maybe our center is on the roster. And they kind of looked at me sideways, and I kind of capitulated to them because they laid out their case. I am going to push back a little bit. I hope they're listening. After listening to Coach Ledford, I might need to stand on what I said a little bit harder and firmer than I did that day.
Yeah. A lot of people were worried, though. A lot of people were worried.
I know.
And
I get
rightly
it.
so. All right, coming up next hour, much more of the same. I'd like to hear from you guys a little bit more. Give me a call, 410-583-1057. Bruce and Femi taking you up to 3 when we hand it off to Mike Popovic.
Wherever the Orioles season takes you.
Say goodbye to this ball.
Download the free Odyssey app and hear reactions to all the biggest moments. Download it today and search 105.7 The Fan.
Baltimore's Classic 5 golf courses make golf fun and affordable. All 5 local courses, Pine Ridge, Mount Pleasant, Forest Park, Carroll Park, and Clifton Park, are challenging and fun for players of all skill levels. Book your tee time today at classic5golf.com.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
Summer means longer days and more deals at Lowe's. This Memorial Day, shop Miracle-Gro 0.75 cubic foot garden soil, 5 bags for $10. Plus, get select 1.5-gallon red, white, and blue annuals hanging baskets, 2 for $15 to show off your favorite plants. Stop traffic with stunning landscaping and save while you do it. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
In today's real estate market, the agent you choose matters more than ever. Choose Vinny Steele. Hey, it's Rob Long. For years, I've been telling you about Vinny Steele with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty because his results and guarantees are truly different. Vinny sells homes 2.8 times faster and for 3.1% more than the average agent. On a $400,000 home, that's about $12,400 more in your pocket. Vinny has over 12,700 buyers waiting. which means your home may already be sold. Vinny Steele has helped thousands of families over 23 years in real estate. He'll sell your home at a price and time frame you agree to, or Vinny will buy it himself. Take it from me. When you're ready to sell your Maryland or Lower Pennsylvania home, do your homework and call the agent I trust. Call or text Vinny Steele at 410-793-1801. That's 410-793-1801, or visit VinnySteele.com.
In the market for a new mattress but overwhelmed by all the options? At Mattress Firm, we make it easy. Just drop in, answer a few questions, and our sleep experts will guide you to your perfect mattress. And with options for every budget and free and fast delivery, it's no wonder more shoppers choose Mattress Firm than any other mattress specialty retailer. And now through Monday, save up to 60% on Sealy. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee.
Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most.
That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber, connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, rock star. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is WJZ-FM, Catonsville, Baltimore's sports talk at 105.7 The Fan, and always live on the free Odyssey app. Weekends on The Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Welcome back. Bruce and Femi, we just say goodbye to Aaron. Mike is in here to take you through the afternoon hours and up through Mike Popovic at 3 o'clock. I want to follow up on the schedule thing we were just talking about because we kind of ran out of time, and then I want to go to the phones. And if you want to call me, please do, 410-583-1057. The NFL footprint is expanding on television. You've got Netflix, or you got Prime Video with regular season games. They are talking about, well, they're not talking about, they've scheduled a Black Friday game. The NFL is expanding on television. And with the network contracts running out, the money is going to get astronomical because the networks are going to be playing for survival. What's your take on all of this?
Yeah, I sent you a video, and you'll get a chance to watch it, hopefully, maybe when you get home today. But it was awesome. And it was talking about how Roger Goodell has squeezed the networks, and some of them are upside down on some of this money. But, you know, if you look at the most top 100 watched shows on TV, 80% of it is the NFL.
Every NFL game last year average, this is the entire league, average 18.7 million viewers.
There's nothing close. When's the first TV show or anything that you see on that list?
I don't have a list in front of me.
Okay.
But it's always the top 5 or 6 or
exactly.
NFL
Yeah,
games.
that was what I was going to, because I've looked at the same thing.
Yeah.
So, and this is the thing. I think you gave me a stat when we were on break, and you said that 88% of games are visible for free, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. And so the 12%, right? We're talking about Amazon Prime. We obviously have Netflix. We have Peacock. And I think those are the 3 streamers that are going to stream NFL games this year.
Right.
And I know that, and look, I'm not trying to get into the debate about it, inflation and cost of goods. Like, I understand all that, but that's not the show that we're doing, right? We're not doing a show on finance, but I understand. But I do think that bleeds into people feeling like everybody is tapping their pocket every time they want to see something in prime time that involves an amazing matchup, right? And I get that to some degree.
Let me interject this.
Yes, sir.
Cable changed everything.
Yep.
People liked cable. People are used to cable. They're used to turning their TV on, and their cable system will have all these things. Then the streaming thing came in, and people were a little dismayed because it's not all centralized. It's not all in the same place to go get it. You got to work a little harder to find it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what the future looks like. Do we get to a point in the future where, and I'm talking not the next TV deal, and maybe not even that one, maybe let's say 10 years from now, are all the games on Netflix? Is Apple TV get involved because they're doing baseball already? I think they're doing NBA too.
You know, if we're talking 10 years, it could be technology we don't even have yet.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. But this is the thing, you know, like Netflix could end up being $1 trillion company at some point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So look, Apple TV is backed by guess who? Apple, right? I mean, they're already
strong.
a multi-trillion-dollar company. So I just wonder, and this is the thing, this is counterintuitive, but because these companies are so big, like, they don't need the NFL to survive. Cable needs the NFL to survive.
TV networks need the NFL to survive.
Exactly. So my point is inversely, how does Netflix, how does Apple TV, how does Prime feel about the style of business that Roger Goodell has done with cable TV? I don't know if he has the same power with them because they have so much more money.
Yeah.
So it's a real, and so please, when you get a chance, you're going to be.
I'm going to watch that.
Yeah. Next week, let's get back into it because I think it opens up for a real counterintuitive discussion on future value of the NFL and the product and what they pay. Now, look, salaries aren't going down. Like, I'm not saying anything. It's the
here's one other
growth
thing.
slowdown.
Let me throw something else at you. You talked about how much money Netflix and all them have. What if the NFL, and theoretically this could happen, decides to start streaming them all itself?
Well, they already do.
No, I mean, don't do deals with Netflix. Right? Just stream it all.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, if you buy the NFL, it's not NFL Network, but NFL has that app. I actually have it on my phone. Yeah. I'm not remembering the name of it off the top, but you literally can buy basically. I mean, you can pay. I think I get it for free because I'm a former player, right? So, anyways, most people know what I'm talking about. Like, that way on your phone, no matter where you are, you can pretty much watch any NFL game. So you have that. So they have that already too. You know what I mean? So anyway,
well, you know that they sold NFL Network to ESPN.
Yeah.
So that.
Well, what's crazy is I was watching. Looking at my cable channels, I think NFL Red Zone, I don't think I get it anymore on my cable.
No, I don't think ESPN's going to.
I'm a big fan.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of American Idol. That channel is no longer available. I don't get that show anymore. I got to watch it on Disney Plus. Luckily, I have Disney Plus. But you know how pissed off I was when I went and I saw my cable doesn't provide those channels anymore? I love NFL Red Zone. Like, when I'm not watching the Ravens game, well, obviously, you know, I'm watching every game that's on live at the same time. I just go and watch NFL Red Zone. And to not be able to have that, like, I'm literally considering doing a major shakeup with my stuff right now.
I am too. In fact, let's say the Ravens play at 4 or play a night game. I don't watch another game. I turn on Netflix or Red Zone at 1 o'clock and watch the entire league. Yeah. It was the best idea that the NFL Network ever had, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I love it too. I love the NFL as a product is amazing. And, you know, you and I were having a little bit of a discussion, you know, off air, and we were talking about the Fridays and then the Thursday games and as this is me just wearing my fan hat because I love watching the NFL so much. The NFL is the favorite thing for me. You know what I mean?
I found something.
Yeah, go for it.
I want to read to you. Thanksgiving week.
Yep.
We'll feature games on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and Monday.
Yep.
Is there a saturation point?
Nope.
Okay.
The market will tell us when there is one, and we're not even close. Salaries are going up. The purchasing power of the NFL is going up. The NFL is global, more global than ever,
and getting more and more all the time.
Exactly. So I think there's 8 international games
for the first time we've had that many.
Exactly.
It's obvious what they're doing. This is just my observation. Roger Goodell has looked with envy at the NBA for years with what the NBA has been able to do around the globe. And I think this is an opportunity for him to try and tap into that worldwide revenue.
I agree with that. But you know what's crazy is the NFL makes so much more money than the NBA.
Yeah.
Which is wild. So the NFL is less pervasive than the NBA. It's in less places than the NBA. Already makes more money domestically and globally than the NBA. It's only going to make more.
Yeah.
That's a wild thought.
They want to be. Well, you played in the World League, right?
I played in NFL Europe. Yep,
okay,
I did.
The only successful franchises they had
were Germany.
Yeah, and it's funny. You don't see many games in Germany this year.
Well, the crazy thing is that the NFL Europe League folded in 2002 or 3.
That sounds
I think
about right. Yeah.
The NFL is much more popular globally than it was then. I have people reaching out to me on X to do podcasts in England, Wales, Germany. Haven't done them yet, but this is unheard of. Like I've never had this many people reach out to me from foreign countries to come on to their podcast. And these are Ravens fans. Like they have Ravens bars, and every team has fans everywhere. But my point is that this is growing, and it's very obvious.
Yeah, it's very obvious, and especially internationally. I read you Thanksgiving week, Christmas week. They got a game on Christmas Eve. They got 3 games on Christmas Day, and then a sizable Sunday, and then a Monday night game that weekend too.
I'm here for it.
But as you just pointed out, the reason it's on there so much is because people watch it. And the TV business is really simple. How can I get eyeballs on my product? And the NFL hands you a tremendous opportunity.
Well, in psychology, when you make something intermittent, right, when it's not there all the time, people want it more.
Yeah.
And the NFL has a cadence that no other sport really has.
Right.
And I know that international soccer and they kind of have a sort of a similar schedule. And obviously, globally, soccer is the most popular sport. Like, there's no argument about that.
No.
But I think the frequency of games in the NFL has created a psychological desire, right, that other sports just can't match.
Yeah.
But also, too, it just is the most popular sport, and the NFL has found a way to dominate the calendar for basically the whole season. Yeah, the whole year, I should say, not the whole season, the whole year.
Let's just bottom line this thing. They're not stupid at the NFL.
Yeah. I think Roger Goodell. I mean, let's think about this for a minute. On his watch, the game has absolutely exploded.
Definitely.
He's done right by the owners, of course. I think that the NFLPA and the NFL could be better partners, but they found a way to make it work, and everybody's making money.
As much criticism as you can give Goodell, and he deserves a lot of it, compare him to Tagliabue. I don't think there's any comparison at all.
Yeah. Well, how would you juxtapose them? What's your take?
Just the growth.
Yeah.
The growth in different media forms and all of that. I mean, Tagliabue seemed to me, at the end of the day, well, I'm ready to go home. Whereas Goodell, at the end of the day, he's like, well, what else can we do? Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And I also think that one of the beauties about the NFL this started to change probably around my time in the late 90s, I retired officially in 2010. The NFL was a much more conservative league in the late 90s and early 2000s. The NFL has gotten a lot looser with social media. Even the drug policy around marijuana has loosened up, right? All these things, players and their social media and allowing people to be who they are. Coaches are a lot more collaborative with players now. They see eye to eye. GMs and players see more eye to eye. They actually ask their stars their opinions on certain things. Not all organizations, but the players that have the power, they do ask them, what do you think about this? Come sit in on this. Participate with that.
That never used to happen.
That used to never, ever happen. And the other thing that used to never happen is that offenses and defenses were static from the standpoint that they expected the player to learn the system. The coaches adapt the system to the players now, which was unheard of 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And the smart coaches were probably doing that to some degree. Like, I got a chance to observe Brian Billick changed the 1998 Minnesota Vikings offense when Brad Johnson got hurt and Randall Cunningham stepped in, and we had a rookie. I'm sort of forgetting his name. I think it rhymes with Mandy Boss. I think that's maybe. I think it sort of rhymes with that. Yeah. So
he's from Tennessee or somewhere, Kentucky, right?
West Virginia.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm playing along with you.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. All right. Gotcha. Hey, I'm taking over here.
You're not very good at improv.
I'm taking over here.
All right, stick around, everybody. We're going to open the phones next segment. Bob and Glenn Burney, you've been waiting a long time. You're first. Get in line behind him, 410-583-1057.
This is BJ Surhoff. You're listening to the best Orioles coverage on Sports Radio 1057, The Fan.
This weekend only at Old Navy, get $4 tees for kids, $6 tees for adults, plus $5 tanks for women. Yep, tees are just $4 for kids, $6 for adults. But hurry, it's this Saturday and Sunday only at Old Navy. Valid 5/16 and 17, select styles only.
In some cases, shoulder and elbow pain can slow you down. In other cases, it can stop you in your tracks and prevent you from living your best life. Don't allow that to happen. The experts at Orthopedic Associates of Central Maryland, a division of CAO, will provide the comprehensive care you need to keep your shoulders and elbows well and working. Schedule an appointment with one of our shoulder and elbow specialists quickly and easily at mdbonedocs.com. That's mdbonedocs.com.
Here's your spring upgrade. Sun's out. Drink in one hand and a free Samsung Galaxy phone in the other. All on unlimited 5G. Switch to Total Wireless and stay connected through every road trip, beach day, and everything in between. Now that's a total power move. Offer ends 7/8/2026 or while supplies last. Device taxes and fees may apply. Requires new activation on a Total 5G Unlimited or Max 5G plan, single or multi-month plan. Additional port-in, ID verification, or device financing requirements vary by device. Purchase limits apply.
May's weather is pretty nice, but those hot summer days will be here soon. Don't wait until the heat hits to try to avoid high energy bills. Upgrade your home's windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale. Imagine replacing all your windows with new energy efficient ones and getting half of them free. Plus, you could even get them with no money down and no monthly payment or interest for 2 years. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com now to book a consultation.
Carpal tunnel syndrome. Heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Penalties and interest are piling up every single day. Wage garnishments and bank levies could hit any moment. If you've been avoiding it out of fear, you're not alone. But waiting only shrinks your options and ramps up the stress. The truth is, the IRS settles with taxpayers every day through legitimate programs, and many qualify to reduce what they owe, in some cases by up to 99%. That's why thousands turn to helpwithirsdebt.com. They've guided over 120,000 Americans, resolved more than $2.3 billion in tax debt, and back every case with their ironclad resolution guarantee. If there's no real path forward, you get a full refund, no fine print. They even randomly select one qualifying client each year and pay off their entire IRS balance. Terms apply. Don't let another day pass. Go to helpwithirsdebt.com right now. It's fast, easy, and confidential. Find out what's possible today. Helpwithirsdebt.com. Once again, that's helpwithirsdebt.com.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Welcome back, Bruce and Femi Show on a Saturday. Man, we're almost done. This has gone fast.
It goes by quick.
Stay tuned after us for Mike Popovic at 3 o'clock, and he will take you up to 6 o'clock. 410-583-1057 is the number. Bob and Glenn Burney, you've been waiting a long time, my friend. Welcome in.
No problem, Bruce. I was just disgusted about that 3-2 loss against the Nationals last night.
Yeah.
Kramer, I really feel for him, man. He ought to go to another team because he was pitching his heart out. That defense is so spotty, and offense stinks. They ain't going to any playoffs this year. They'd be lucky if they could next year. They better, Elias better get going and get some money generated and get some quality players.
Well, you know what, Bob?
I'm telling you right now, man.
They spent a lot of money this offseason.
They did.
So, I mean, Rubenstein has shown you he'll get his wallet out, but the money they spent hasn't really paid off yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, who's spending more than the Yankees in Boston? They do that every year.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Thanks for the call. They need to spend money. You need to pay closer attention.
Yeah, you need guys not to get hurt, especially the guys that you spend money on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you saw what they gave Alonso.
Yeah.
He spent some money.
Yeah.
But I've said this several times, and you've heard me say this several times. What Mike Elias has shown is that he can build a roster. He can really come up with some quality players and build a roster. But what he hasn't shown is whether that roster can win consistently. And if he quit today as GM, if somebody said, would you assess his stay here? That's how I would assess it.
Yeah. I think that ultimately you put a team together and you can't necessarily account for chemistry or injuries.
No.
You know what I mean? And I think my biggest issue still is this team struggles defensively. They're in the bottom third, even lower in some instances in all the fielding and advanced fielding data. They just are. And, I proposed a defensive-centric lineup, a week ago? And all
everybody heard was Colton Cowser.
Yeah, exactly. And so, it's kind of whack-a-mole, right? There's nights when they're hitting and then they're not pitching. And there's nights when they're pitching and they're not playing defense. And, I feel like until that all comes together, obviously, you're going to continue to see a team that's sub 500, and that's where we are right now. They're 5 games under 500, and you remember they were hovering around 500, and I think they're 500 at home. They're obviously sub 500 on the road. But the injury part of it, Rodgers came out of the box pretty hot. And then obviously he got sick, but then he had a couple rough starts, and then Eflin went onto IL, and then he's done for the season. And then I guess Kramer was pitching, and then he went down, and it's just kind of been this merry-go-round of different things and guys getting hurt and not being available.
If you remember, Kramer was in Norfolk for a while.
Yeah,
I mean that's how they were too crowded. in the rotation,
and it was like, who's going to be the ace? Is it Bradish? Is it Rodgers? Right, and then obviously the starting rotation just hasn't, they just haven't really.
Biggest weakness on a team.
Yeah, for sure.
It's followed closely by defensive lapses, but I think if you had to lay it at the feet of one particular thing, I'd go with that starting rotation.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be starting rotation, it'd be defense, and then it would just be too many strikeouts across the board. They just strike out too much. But I see, I love what Adley's done. I love the evolution of Basayo. Taylor Ward he's at the top of Major League Baseball in walks and on base percentage. He was leading the Major League Baseball in doubles at one point.
But they got him for home runs.
Yeah, they did, and he hasn't. But that's kind of. There was a rumor that I had heard, and you correct me if I'm wrong on this, is that maybe he wasn't 100% physically, and that was detracting from his power.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I heard that a couple weeks ago.
But he's in the lineup every night.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of their most consistent ball players.
And he's helping the club because he knows how to read pitches. Yeah. And he gets on base.
Yeah. He takes competitive at-bats every night.
That was the bottom line in Moneyball. We need guys that can get on base.
Yeah. And Pete hasn't lived up to it yet.
No.
And I know everyone thinks that he will at some point because he's a professional hitter. I believe that he will too.
You've got a track record you can look at.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I don't know if it, and I say this actually from a positive perspective because you know how I operate. For it to be so difficult up to this point, we're just a little bit more than a quarter through the season. It really couldn't be more difficult than it's been. And they've had some moments, like the last Yankee series. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's see where it goes. Well, I don't want to get too crazy because people start getting mad when I get too optimistic.
This is where I thought you were going. With that because 5 games under 500. There's a lot of stuff going wrong yet. If you go to the MLB standings, and you look at the
American
wild
League.
card,
they're what, game and a half out?
No, they are.
They're like a game and a half out.
Game and a half out.
Yeah,
game and a half. And here's how bad the wild card. Rich talks about this every week about how bad the American League is this year. You got the Yankees that lead the wild card because the Rays and the Yankees are playing out of their minds. Yankees 28-17. Right behind them in the wild card, White Sox 22-22. Those numbers speak pretty loudly, don't they?
Yeah, definitely.
They tell you exactly.
And is it Seattle underneath them? Who's got the third? They have a losing record.
It's like this. Yankees are first, 28-17. White Sox second, 22-22. Mariners, 22-24. Then followed by the Rangers, 21-23, and then the Twins and Orioles tied at 20-25.
Yeah, there's like 6 or 7 teams that are under 500 that are 2 games out of the wild card.
And as Rich said, if they can get some good starts going and maybe get this thing rolling downhill, maybe it's not as hopeless as it seems right now. It's hard to give up hope in May on a baseball club.
Yeah, I just think optimism is a choice. Like, we're all looking at the same thing. I just think it's better for you psychologically, like all of it. And look, I get it. And I know that, I refuse to be static in my affect and disposition. It's just not good for you. You know what I mean? Like, when you're so emotionally invested in something, and look, when the Ravens, like especially last year when they started out 1-5, do you know what my week was like when they were playing like that? It was not good.
No, I
was not in a good headspace.
None of us were.
You know what I mean? So and I know that burden in baseball every day, right? We talked about the frequency of football and baseball. One football game is the equivalent of 17 baseball games, basically. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to wait all week to get redemption. At least with baseball, maybe you can find a reprieve from night to night if you're winning some games.
Maybe. All right, coming up, the phones are still open, by the way, 410-583-1057. These international games that are coming up, we're going to list them all for you, and we're going to discuss some of these sites. That's coming up.
Big Bad Morning Show. Vinny and Haynie. Inside Access. Live on YouTube weekdays 6 till 6. Subscribe for daily shorts right to your phone and never miss what you missed. 105.7 The Fan.
For all 105.7 The Fan station contest rules, please visit 1057thefan.com.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals, and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack in the $6 Biggie Bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie Bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
When equipment breaks down and operations come to a halt, every single second counts. So why is your maintenance team spending 60% of their time doing anything but turning wrenches? MaintainX is the AI-powered maintenance and asset management system that helps your team get back to actually fixing breakdowns. No more searching for manuals. No more hunting down parts. No more drowning in paperwork. With MaintainX, your team can access manuals from anywhere, create new procedures in minutes, and turn voice notes into clear and complete work order feedback. What used to take hours now only takes minutes. Keep your operations moving and your wrenches turning. Join over 13,000 maintenance teams that are already fixing more and filing less. Try MaintainX for free today. Go to maintainx.com/AI. That's maintain and the letter x.com/AI.
Last year, I had back pain radiating down my right leg. The pain was so bad I was willing to cut my leg off to stop the pain. I could barely walk and had to stoop over when I did just to take pressure off the spine. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. In my professional career, I've represented thousands of people who've had herniated discs and issues with their neck and back, but never fully appreciated what they were going through until it was my turn. It's like trying to describe colors to a blind person who's never had sight. All I can tell you is it hurt like hell, but worse. My daily walk was gone, and that bothered me a great deal. Then I thought of all of you and how much more devastating this type of injury could be for you. my life stopped. I now feel your pain. Just know at Morgan & Morgan, we got your back. I understand. Morgan means more. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
How do airplanes fly? What's in this box? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Learn how to store your gun securely and make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Get a $15 O'Reilly gift card after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Welcome back, Bruce and Femi on a Saturday. We take you up to 3 o'clock when Mike Popovic takes you into the evening hours. 410-583-1057 is the number to call. Again, 410-583-1057. We've had a wide field today, so whatever's on your mind, we'll be happy to talk about it. During a break, Femi and I were talking about this year's international games. There's a record number this year. I mean, it's obvious the NFL wants to expand this thing. They're in London 3 times this year.
Yep.
That's interesting to me. Should it be?
I think that London is the epicenter of international American football now. You know what I mean? So I don't think it should be a surprise. And I think I mentioned to you, I played for the London Monarchs in NFL Europe in 1998. And I've had an unusual number of London Ravens fans reach out to me on X. And I actually am scheduling a podcast with one of these groups for the next week or so. So I mean, all the data and all the growth, it kind of makes sense. Like if you're going to have games in Munich and Rio and Melbourne, it sounds like there should be multiple games in London at this point.
It seems so. And it's something that's not going to stop.
Oh, no, it's going to keep growing for sure.
I think eventually we could possibly see in the future, we could see a European division.
Well, what's interesting, I think, is that if you're going to do that, it almost seems like you'd have to have a neutral field where teams cycle their way through there. So not a new team, but the current teams kind of have a home base there for maybe a month where they stay there and they play 4 games, and then maybe you rotate that. And so every couple years, each team has to stay there. Because look at what Jacksonville's done. I think this is going to be the 2nd or 3rd year where they play 2 games in London. Yeah, Jacksonville plays in London on the 11th and the 18th, and they've sort of become kind of a bit of a darling in London because they're there so often. Jacksonville's done that.
They don't want to be in Jacksonville. The guy that owns them, you know where he made his money, right?
Oil? No,
he's got the worldwide patent on the seamless bumper.
Oh, okay.
Worldwide patent.
Okay,
Khan is his name.
Yeah, yep.
He has no ties to Jacksonville. I don't even think he's American. I think he's probably itching to take that team and play in London. Seriously.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that easy. You know how hard it is to become an NFL owner, and you know the rules. So if that happens, it's going to be because the league as a whole decided that that's what they wanted to do. But Jacksonville, Duval, like those people love that. That stadium is sold out. It is a party in Duval. I've watched a lot of games there. There's no reason to leave Jacksonville.
It wasn't always though.
No, but it is now, and they're a good football team.
Do you remember the tarps they put in the upper deck?
But they're not doing that now.
No, I was just going to finish this. They're not doing it now. I'll give you that. They're not doing it now. But those in the stadium industry are now known as Jacksonville tarps.
Right.
If you want to cover up unused seats, we've got to get some Jacksonville tarps. Let's go to the phone here. Mike in Baltimore. What's going on?
Hey, Bruce. First-time caller.
Great.
I've been listening to you forever. I always like the insight you have. You have a real feel for this city. And speaking as you were just speaking about Jacksonville, I feel like the Orioles are tone deaf when it comes to this city. We know the makeup of the city, the dynamics, and if you look at that team we put together, eval last few drafts and things of that nature, if you looked at our projected lineup, we were satisfied going in with a lineup with no with just to be blatantly non-white guys. Mm-hmm. And in this town, like, we should be looking at the one guy that made the team, Jackson. He was like one of the last ones, Tavares, one of the last players they even decided to go with on the team. I couldn't understand that. And even I remember one game I'm watching, and Jim Palmer spoke on it, and they was like, maybe we should send Jackson down because he have options. And Jim Palmer said, it's real simple. Do you want to win or not?
Yeah.
And I feel like we just put this team together. We have a center fielder who can't catch. Look, I'm all over the place a little bit, a little nervous because I got so much to say because I've been holding this in for so.
Hey, Mike, let me
hear me say this all the time. Right?
Let me tell you something. Every Oriole fan I know sounds exactly like you. Okay,
yeah.
Everybody's having the same kind of thoughts.
Yeah, because I'm talking to a guy at work, and I'm like, where did we change? Where did we change to get better? We went and got 2 more, and both players I think going to pan out because the guy we got from the Angels and Pete Alonso, both of them, Ward, the guy, both of them, I think, was the answer for part of what we need, but we didn't address the part about us not being able to get on base and the small things and small ball.
Yeah.
Then I listened to us all year complain about a guy like Tejada on the team who batting his 210 would look good right now in the end of that lineup.
Yeah, well, he also brought steroids into that clubhouse.
See, I didn't understand.
Yeah, Tejada was typhoid Mary. And I tell you something else, he cost Rafael Palmeiro the Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay. Well, Mateo.
I'm just saying, yeah, but you're right. You're right. Adam Jones, when he played here, Adam Jones had a very good grasp of what you're talking about. And he used to talk about it all the time. He used to appeal to Black Baltimore. Come on, see us play, you know. You just don't see much of that anymore. But you got to give Adam credit. Adam really was good on the reach out, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. And I got to say, for the first time, like I'm a black man, 52 years old. I've been listening to the Orioles since I was 10 years old, and that's unheard of a black kid to listen to the Orioles on the radio. It used to drive my sister crazy. Anyway, last year was the first year I didn't attend a game. I said, I can't go out and watch this. And then the same thing going on this year. I have a sister-in-law who loving, like, we got to go catch the game. And I'm like, why? Like, and I'm telling her what's going on. This was before Jackson got hot. I'm like, they don't even want to put Jackson in the lineup, but you got all these other guys who can't, at least like the Mateo not knowing the steroids part of it. But just saying, I'm saying the type of player like that, and I'm just saying, and it doesn't have to be a black player like that. Any player that's like that, at least if he gets on base, he can steal a base. So I'm happy if somebody get on before him, and he ground into a fourth play, and then he get to steal the next bag.
Yeah.
Or he can score from first. We don't have that. We had 2 shots last night where they hit shots, and the ball was hit really hard. But part of it was that we had whatever the third baseman is, Mayo, who can't catch. We got guys who can't catch, who can't hit, and we still got them on the team, and it's like, and the thing about it is we don't even look at it as another option. So now that Beavers got hurt, the answer to that is, okay, good. Now we can get more at-bats for Cowser. And it was like Cowser wasn't batting because Beavers Beavers was in there tearing it up. He wasn't hitting because he can't hit and he can't play center field. You put him somewhere else in the outfield and he's suitable, but they keep acting like he's such a plus defender. And I'm like, I can't believe what I'm saying.
Mike,
it's really frustrating.
You sound thoroughly frustrated. I'm glad you called and shared it with us. Thank you very much. Femi, he's not alone. This is what I hear.
Yeah, he's not wrong either. That's the frustrating part about it, I think. So, hey, you know me.
You know what we need to do? We need to get him in front of a camera and tape it and put it on the big screen at Camden Yards and just let everybody cheer in because everybody feels the same way.
I mean, wow, that would cause a ruckus.
I'm kidding.
But no. I heard him. And like I said, fans have a right to feel how they feel. And he actually backed it up with like actual data.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's qualitative data for sure, but he's not wrong.
His point about a 10-year-old black kid listening to the Orioles on the radio was well taken too. There probably weren't many of those. Yeah. You know, I love baseball on the radio, but he makes a very, very, very good point. 410-583-1057 is the number. Again, 410-583-1057. I'm looking through your show notes here, and this is an abrupt left turn, but I wanted to make sure I didn't forget this. Let's talk about the Tokyo Toe a little bit.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Kansie Matsuzawa, right? That looks how you say it.
Yeah, I think it's Kensai.
Kensai Matsuzawa.
Yeah.
Okay. The Raiders assigned him as a place kicker.
Yep. So I was kind of looking through just like what's interesting that's happening in the league. And so this dude learned how to kick from YouTube videos. He's a former soccer player from Japan. He played at the University of Hawaii. And I think he was at a smaller school before that, but then ended up going to Hawaii. And he joined the NFL through International Player Pathway Program. And so, he was a consensus All-American. And I was just kind of blown away. I didn't know that there was an actual Japanese-born player, the first one, on the roster, and the Raiders are the ones that signed him. So I think it's a feel-good story, and I just thought it was something that was I want to shine a little bit of a light on, because he probably doesn't know he's being talked about here in Baltimore today.
Probably not. He did finish up in Hawaii, like you said, but listen to this. His first college football experience here was at a college called Hocking College in Nelsonville, Ohio, which has got to be like Division 5.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I give him credit. And it's so funny. Who was the kid from Nigeria that was drafted by the Eagles? Did you see him doing pass rushing on trees?
Freakish.
Yeah. I think he's 6'4", 300 pounds.
Yeah.
He looks like he's sub 13% body fat. Giant. They're finding people everywhere.
Well, this is another result of expanding worldwide.
Yeah, definitely.
Talent's coming from worldwide too now, and it's fascinating to watch because football traditionally is such an American sport.
To piggyback on our previous, how many minutes do we have before you go to a break? Because I don't want to start before and then get interrupted.
About 3.
Okay, cool. Okay, so the Jacksonville I'm going to go back to Jacksonville for a minute because I think this is illuminating because I think it makes your point, but I think it makes my point simultaneously, which is rare, right? We're kind of both correct about this. The Jacksonville Jaguars ranked 13th in total home attendance for the 2025 NFL regular season with 580,000 fans, averaging 64,500 spectators per game.
Pretty good average.
Yeah. However, when measuring stadium capacity utilization, they ranked 29th in the league at 91 to 93% of capacity. That tells you how good the NFL is. When you're hitting 91 and 93 and you're 29th, it's popular sport. Making them only one of 3 teams that failed to fill at least 93% of their stadium consistently, which is shocking. But check this out, though. So the London effect. The Jaguars consistently fill stadium seats abroad. This is back to your point, Bruce, drawing a massive crowd of 86,000 for their 2025 home game at Wembley Stadium. In their local Jacksonville market, however, their home average actually has dropped to 62,000.
There you go.
So this kind of makes the point that yes, they actually get more fans in London. That's pretty wild.
Let me give you the background of Jacksonville.
Yeah, go for it.
There was an expansion in 93. Baltimore was one of the 5 finalist cities, okay? I covered this for an entire year. We covered this story so hard. The reason they went to Jacksonville is because they wanted Orlando. Orlando couldn't get a group together. Jacksonville dropped out of the process. They got it down to 5 finalist cities. It was Charlotte, Jacksonville, St. Louis, Memphis, and Baltimore. Jacksonville dropped out. Tagliabue said, "Get back in." I mean, that was public. We invite you to get back in because the process is not complete. Anyway, they wanted Orlando, so they gave the franchise to Jacksonville. They get nobody from Orlando to this day. That migration from Orlando never happened. So my point, Femi, is that they didn't want to be in Jacksonville in the first place. They wanted to get close to Orlando because the Magic had just come into business and was doing great guns down there.
But I mean, so correct me if I'm wrong on this. So Orlando and Tampa are like 96 miles from each other.
Right.
So wouldn't Orlando fans, what's the distance between Orlando and Jacksonville?
It's roughly the same.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll look that up next. But it just makes sense to me that I felt like when we played in the Super Bowl, which was, I think, the last time I was in Tampa, it felt like Orlando fans were Tampa fans.
Yeah, well, that probably was part of it too.
Yeah.
But the NFL wanted a franchise in Orlando.
Yeah.
And they just couldn't make that happen.
Yeah.
And they went to the next best thing. And then they looked at secondary markets, and that's the reason Baltimore didn't get an expansion team. I don't know if you ever looked into this.
No.
They took the 5 finalist cities that I listed, Femi, and they drew a 150-mile circle around each one of them. Charlotte Circle had 9 million people in it. All right? So that tells you why they got a franchise, right? Do you know what Baltimore's 150-mile circle had? Washington and Philly.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't get an expansion team. Secondary markets for Washington are Richmond and Norfolk, which are sizable markets. You know what Baltimore's is? Salisbury and Hagerstown.
Yeah.
So anybody that wants to give their conspiracy theory about why we didn't need an expansion team, there it is. All right, we've gone way too far. Stick around. One more segment, and then we hand it off to Mike.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-507-9701. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-507-9701. That's 800-507-9701. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
She's back. Miss Pac-Man. The 80s icon is now a Maryland Lottery scratch-off. With a top prize of $30,000, the Miss Pac-Man scratch-off is more fun than a barrel of Koosh Balls. So throw on your parachute pants and your jelly shoes, tease your hair out, and bust a move to play the new Miss Pac-Man scratch-off. Get scratching. Use your mood ring. Please play responsibly. Miss Pac-Man is registered and copyrighted by BNEI.
Hey, it's Ed Norris. You know, there's a place in Baltimore where the food's great, the drinks are cold, and the crowd is even better. And that's Mount Washington Tavern. We've got a full lunch and dinner menu every day. Fresh, delicious, and something for everyone. But here's what you really need to know. Every Wednesday night is prime rib night. Slow roasted prime rib, roasted stringerling potatoes, and a fresh salad, all for just $32. Wednesdays just got a lot better. And of course, don't miss happy hour. Monday through Friday, 3 to 6, $10 martinis, old fashions, Manhattans, $8 crab hush puppies and mussels. And of course, Sundays, $5 drinks all day. That's Crushes, rail drinks, canned seltzers. It's just a great place every day of the week. And if you're a, baseball fan, the Tavern is your spot. You can catch the game because they got tons of TVs there. Grab a bite and hop the light rail if you have tickets. It goes right to the ballpark and right back to the Tavern after the game. Really easy. Reservations go fast, so call or book online today and say hi to Rob, Dave, and Buck while you're there. Mount Washington Tavern, where Baltimore eats.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we know you're no stranger to setting big goals, whether in school, at work, or in life, and you're ready for more. At UMGC, we offer the skills-based education you need to move your career forward. Learn how to apply AI, data science, and other emerging tech, plus gain skills in leadership and critical thinking. You've come far. Succeed again. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
If you want.
Oh, yeah, matchup. Yeah. You know, they're sending the star. It's a shame that we have to talk over this.
Well, this is my song right here.
I know, but I want to hear the rest of it. Hey, we talked about these international games, and we approached it from the sites, which is interesting to me. But these matchups are awesome.
Yeah, they are.
It looked like they wanted to make sure that just about all their stars got some international exposure.
Yeah, September 11th, Rams and Niners in Melbourne. I mean, or as they say in Melbourne, as they say in Australia.
Well, and then the Ravens in Dallas, You're going into Brazil, which, is still new territory, but those are two glittery, high-profile franchises with big stars, and I think that's what the NFL's trying to do.
Well, you know what? And we've never had trouble with the Cowboys.
No. Oh, no.
You know what I mean?
No.
So, like, for me, I'm kind of thinking, like, I know their offense and the receivers and the quarterback. Like, I know they were one of the best offenses in the NFL last year. Like, I get that. And, obviously we're very familiar with George Pickens. But it's going to be wild down there. I mean, there's a lot of people that have earmarked that as kind of like their trip. I expect there to be a lot of Ravens fans down in Rio.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what that looks like on TV. You know what I mean? And why am I not saying that about, any other city? There's just a vibe down in Brazil that's just different.
I shouldn't say old, our former news anchor at Fox 45, Jeff Barnes, was there for many, many years. He married a Brazilian lady, and they live down there now.
Oh, is that right?
And he said ever since his game was announced, his cell phone's been exploding down there. Everybody in the media down there looking for somebody that can talk about it. I found that interesting,
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be amazing. And then we have Washington versus Indy in London.
Not a great matchup.
Yeah, one of three games.
But those 3 London games, though, they've already been broken in. Maybe you don't have to send the big stars.
No. I mean, look, that's an easy trip for the Commanders, right? And they got Jaden Daniels. I think he's one of the faces of the NFL at this point, right? Indy, Daniel Jones, I think is very underrated. Remember, Indy started out 7-1 last year?
Yeah, they were very good.
They were, and then obviously injuries. Daniel got hurt and things kind of fell off. Jacksonville and Philly. Look, Philly's one of the best teams in the NFL. That's an easy trip for them. That's an easy trip for Jacksonville. I expect both teams to be tip-top. And then Houston, in my opinion, versus Jacksonville, October 18th in London. Houston, for me, is the best defense in the NFL going into the season. I know statistically, I think Denver was, but you cannot tell me if you had the choice to face Denver or Houston, you'd rather face Denver.
Denver for sure, but Houston, Jacksonville internationally though, that looks like that could be a 6-3 final.
Yeah, those are two.
Can they appreciate defense in London? I wonder.
Well, look, I don't know what CJ Stroud is going to look like after the way he finished his last season, but I expect an improved player.
Yeah.
I mean, he had the yips clearly in that playoff game.
It was hard to watch.
Yeah, it was hard to watch, and a very winnable game for Houston. I actually had Houston going to the Super Bowl. So last year
people did.
Yeah. So and then we have Pittsburgh versus New Orleans, October 25th in Paris. That just sounds awesome. The Saints and the Steelers in Paris. Doesn't it? It just sounds awesome.
There's a guy online called Johnny Pittsburgh, and he does YouTube videos, and he does this video of a typical Steeler fan at a sidewalk cafe in Paris. He's asking for Iron City beer, and you got any kibasi back there, and all. It's really funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Pittsburgh in France. That's funny to me.
Yeah, like look. Shuck has jumped onto the scene. I think he was a 4th round draft pick last year. I got to look that up, but no one expected him to take the reins from Spencer Rattler the way that he did in New Orleans.
Right.
They actually had a really good offense last year. I think the Saints are underrated. I think we play them here week 2, I believe, so we'll get to see them.
And in week 1 at the Colts, I mean, those are 2 tougher games, I think, than most people realize.
If we're who we're supposed to be, we should win both those games. Yeah, we should.
But don't think it's going to be a pushover, though.
No. I think the Saints here, if we don't win that game, there's a problem. But Indy is going to be a tougher game for sure. And then to get back to this, week 9. I'm sorry, it's not. It is week 9. Week 9, the Bengals versus the Falcons, November 8th in Madrid. I actually played, as I mentioned, in NFL Europe, and I believe we played Barcelona. So it wasn't in Madrid, but I have been to Madrid, another beautiful city in Spain. And then we have New England versus Detroit, week 10. That should be a good one. Obviously, 2 really good football teams.
After the season New England had last year, they got a lot tougher schedule this year.
Yeah, we're going to see how good
how are they going to handle that?
We're going to see how good they really are. And look, I don't mean to minimize what they did. They went to the Super Bowl.
Right.
No one expected them to play well. They didn't. I still have a little bit of anger about the way that we handled that game here. We gave that game away to some degree. It was a very winnable game for us.
Right.
But I still think New England's a good football team. Obviously, they're dealing with some other issues in regard to their head coach. Ooh. And I think that's a cloud over the franchise right now. I don't know if the collateral damage from that is done.
I don't know either, and I hesitate to talk about it. I really do. It just seems to me it's one of those none of my business things. But everybody's talking about it now.
Yeah.
And I'm sensitive about it. And we had this talk before because I worked with women for a long time at Fox 45 in sports. And I know the tightrope that they kind of have to walk. And there's no way that Rossini comes out of this thing looking anything but bad and slutty. And we don't know the facts. We really don't. It's sad.
Yeah, I think the problem that I have, and I don't know Diana Rossini personally.
I don't either.
Yeah, I won't make any comments about her. Obviously, we know what the assumptions are in regard to the relationship. And also, her being in the media and, him being, NFL head coach.
And she having access.
That's another layer to it. Yeah. And I think the third layer is that a lot of times as an NFL player, when you sit in those all hands on deck meetings with all players and all coaches, one of the first things the head coach says is don't be a distraction for your teammates. And the biggest distraction in New England is the head coach.
Right.
That is so antithetical and 180 degrees from what you ever would experience. Could you imagine Brian Billick or Denny Green or John Harbaugh or Jesse Minter or, Ted
Marchibroda?
Yeah. Well, could you imagine them having some issue like this? It's just so odd. You know what I mean?
In fact, it's kind of funny to think of Brian in that situation. That might be entertaining.
It wouldn't happen. Like it's just it's a non sequitur.
No, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, and then to get back on track here, and I know we have a couple minutes before we got to go.
We got about one.
Yeah. So week 11, Minnesota and San Francisco. Will Kyler Murray take that starting job by that point? That's the thing that I'm wondering.
I think he starts first week.
And that game's in. Oh, you know what? The thing is, once you put him in, you can't take him out. So I don't know if he starts. I don't know if he starts the season, but I see him ending it.
They love the kid in Minnesota, JJ. They love him a lot, but he played like crap. And if you got Kyler Murray,
I've never been big on him, to be honest. I felt that he was protected in Michigan.
Right.
I watched him play up close and up front many times now. I'm pulling for him, but I think Kyler Murray's going to be the starter. That game's in Mexico City. I actually played in the first game ever in Mexico City in 2005 or 6 when I played for the Cardinals. We played the Niners.
I remember that.
Yeah,
how was it to breathe there? I remember when the Olympics.
It wasn't a big deal.
Well,
it wasn't a big deal.
All right. Well, look, we're just about out of time. This moved fast today. We had a lot to talk about. Yeah. Any final thoughts?
No, I'm just excited about the schedule. I think the schedule is very favorable, and I'm bullish on the Ravens. I'm expecting the number 1 seed to be in play. I'm looking, somewhere the floor would be 11-6, and I think the ceiling would be 13-4.
Well, let's just say this about that. Nobody's gotten hurt yet.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Keep that in mind. All right, we want to thank our guests today, Rich Dubroff, especially Rich. He sounded like he was on his way to Nats Park. And then we had a really good time with horse trainer Mike.
Mike
Pons.
was great.
Yeah,
Mike was great.
You should go out there and visit him.
I'd love to. Maybe we can go together.
And we could do that.
Yeah, grab a beer on the way back or something. Maybe.
Oh, that wouldn't suck.
Yeah, let's do that.
We can do that. Mike, if you're listening, we're heading out your way. All right. And thanks for being with us today. We'll be back next week, and we want to remind you to stay tuned for Mike Popovic, who will take you up to 6 o'clock. As you head into the evening hours. Orioles, by the way, at 4:05 today. But turn the sound down and listen to Mike instead, all right? As I always say, Baltimore, I love you madly. Ain't nothing you can do about it. He's Femi. I'm Bruce. We'll talk next week.
You thought you hadn't found a good girl, one to love you and give you the world. Now you find that you've been misused.
If you're thinking about it
every day,
we're talking about it.
That's what I'm talking about.
105.7 The Fan.
Most fans know every stat by heart, but didn't know about Dark Cars Toyota of Baltimore, the largest and only new car dealership in the city. Fully remodeled showroom with new Toyotas, pre-owned lineup, full service and parts. Corner of Eastern and Dundalk or darkcarstoyotabaltimore.com.
This is Modelo Especial, a full-flavored golden lager with a crisp, refreshing taste from start to finish. Brewed with time, effort, and determination to get the balance just right. Because when a beer is made right, you can feel it. Modelo Especial, the model for everyday beer. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Here's your spring upgrade. Sun's out. Drink in one hand and a free Samsung Galaxy phone in the other. All on unlimited 5G. Switch to Total Wireless and stay connected through every road trip, beach day, and everything in between. Now that's a total power move. Offer ends 7/8/2026 or while supplies last. Device taxes and fees may apply. Requires new activation on a total 5G unlimited or max 5G plan, single or multi-month plan. Additional port-in ID verification or device financing requirements vary by device. Purchase limits apply.
University of Maryland Global Campus offers more than 55 flexible online certificates that provide short-term credentials and real-world skills you can use immediately. With a range of affordable undergraduate and graduate certificates in high-demand fields like business, AI, cybersecurity, data analytics, and healthcare, you can earn credentials quickly to help advance your career. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Classes start soon. Learn more at